Hello everybody and welcome back to Odin's Movie Blog. I am the critic who is a cynic. How is everybody doing this evening? What is going on, everybody? I'm seeing some names in here I have not seen in a very long time. So what is going on? Hound 3000 Pin Drop is in the house as well. What is going on? Steph and Tina are here, of course. 8-Bit Snake Boy is here as well. BTTF Rocks is here. What is going on, bruv? Mary Vidalis is here as well. What's going on, Mary? Mr. Peabody is also here. What's going on, Mr. Peabody? Force goes Jeremy. Greta Zenner, what is going on? Greta, she says, hello everyone in Odin. I just watched Bad Times at the El Royale, and it's fantastic. Damn right. I've been trying to sell that movie for so long. It is such a good movie. That's why it was my #1 movie of 2018. And yes, it did indeed beat out Infinity War for my favorite movie of the year. Both were great films, but that one was just a little bit better as far as just being a little bit more original, in my opinion. 8-Bit Snake Boy, what's going on? Super Anime Gamer, hey, what's up? Forgot it was Monday. The holiday got me all messed up. Is indeed a Monday. I didn't get a holiday. We didn't get off of school, so it was just a regular Monday to me. Mary Vidalis, thank you very much for the $2 super chat. She says, super chat for reasons. Well, thank you very much, Mary. I appreciate it. Also, go check out the Mary Vidalis channel. She is awesome. She does a bunch of live streams, and she is cool people. Pin Drop, I see that peace sign you got there. Alex Martinez, what is going on, bruv? Zen Waters, howdy. Dion, what is going on, my bruv? Hail to you, good sir. Mr. Peabody says, Frank is here. Oh, and he made it. Finally, Lord. Man, Frank's been out of action for so long. It's great to finally get him back. Gannison, what's going on, Gannison? How's it going? Dude, Alita, I'm telling you, it's so funny. It's so funny that today you started to see articles basically admitting, oh, well, the foreign market might actually give Alita a chance. It's like, no, really, really. Who would have possibly thought that that would be the case? Who could have possibly predicted that that was going to happen? Not just me. Seriously, anyone with a brain and with eyes that could go to boxofficemojo.com and follow the box office numbers could have done it. But apparently these high-paid media shills can't do even just a little bit of work. Alex Martinez says, Bad Times at the El Royale is amazing. It needs more attention. Damn right it does. Dude, seriously. It is such a good movie. It is also, it's unique. The story, you don't really know exactly where it's going. It has surprises in it. It's fun. It's great. I love it. Soul Assassin says, Odin, I just got back from Battle Angel and it was awesome. Damn right, Soul Assassin. Glad that you got to see it. Thank you so much for supporting it, and I'm glad that you liked it. It seriously is. It is so damn good. I love it. I love it. I love it. Gannison says, time will tell. Exactly right, seriously. And again, we will know. We will have a much better idea of how well the film will do after this weekend because it opens up in Japan and China. And if Japan and China have very big opening weekends for it, I think you'll start to hear a bunch of these so-called box office experts and so-called mediaites be like, oh, we shouldn't have written off the film so much. And then maybe then they'll be like, oh, well, obviously it's because there's a female lead, and they'll try and spin it and try and, you know, get their point across because they're idiots who can't just get their heads out of their asses and just live in the real world. You know, the real world's nice. It's a nice place to live. It's not all doom and gloom, guys. It's 2019. People, you know, these people, they act like we're still in the 1960s, or even worse, like we're back in the 1910s. Oh man, it's like we're back during the Civil War era. It's like, no, we've moved on. There's a lot of things that are good in today's world. Let's just, you know, smell the roses for a second. Laura, Ryan stole my fanfiction story. Laura, how is it going? I'm here lurking, just got out of Alita, and I'm processing all of it. Thanks for the recommendation. No problem at all. Sounds like you enjoyed it. I know that it's still definitely a lot to process, but hopefully it was a positive experience for you. And if you have not seen, if you're one of the 55 people watching right now and you have not seen Alita Battle Angel, do yourself a favor and go see it. And I would recommend personally seeing it in the Dolby 3D. And I hate 3D. This is coming from a guy who hates 3D with a fiery passion, and yet I will recommend that movie in 3D, at least for the Dolby, because it is gorgeous. Seriously, it is so freaking gorgeous. Nico Blue 88, thank you very much, man, for the £350 super chat. Says Alita, heart, yes indeed. Hearts out, guys. Hearts in the chat. Hearts out for Alita. She deserves everything. She deserves our love. Unlike Captain Marvel, which has done nothing to this point to deserve any of our love, not just from the star, but also just from the source material, let's give Alita some love. Alita deserves it. Alita deserves a little bit of that love. Lethal Lightning's in here as well. What's going on, Lethal Lightning? You sexy, sexy beast. Zoro, what's going on? Zoro says, hey, Odin, just got done with EVS stream. More crazy stuff on Pensacon. Yeah, dude, I've been following that story based on what Jeremy's been talking about, and yeah, I mean, I'm right there with Jeremy. and I can tell you this for a fact, no single person with any sense, no person that is just like a based in reality type person, which is what Jeremy and everyone with the Geeks and Gamers team is ever going to wish harm on anyone. None of us condone any threats that have been made to Pensacon. None of us have asked for it. None of us have called for it. And I think that the threats are ridiculous. On the same time, on the same token, I think it's ridiculous for Pensacon to try and act like it is Jeremy's fault or anyone associated with Geeks and Gamers' fault. I'm sorry, like no, you can't, like, two things can be true. He is not to blame for it, and also what they're doing is despicable. The threats that are being made are despicable and should be investigated and should be followed up on. Lord, man, yeah, it's absolutely crazy what's going on there. It really is. Super says, Bad Times was awesome. Only thing, I wish Dakota Johnson got more screen time. I know, it's weird that you say that too, because that's the girl who got started, like her big career moment was that she was the lead in 50 Shades of Grey, which is really sad, but she's actually a really good actress. She's surprisingly good, and she really shows it in that film. So yeah, if you've never seen Bad Times at the El Royale, I highly recommend it. Alex Martinez said, after all of the buzz, your review, and others, I'm so excited to watch Alita this weekend. As a fan of anime, I was worried for Alita due to the high budget and the story itself. Yeah, I've definitely heard of a couple of people who call themselves anime or manga purist who said that it was too commercialized. But for the vast majority of people that like anime and that like that style of literature, they loved it. They think it's the best adaptation they've ever seen for the vast majority of them. And also, even though John Campea will say that it doesn't matter, that 93% rating on Rotten Tomatoes is a pretty good indication, especially since it's like, what, over 6,000 people have left reviews now at this point. But apparently in John Campea's mind, oh, they're all bots, you can't trust it. The only thing to trust is CinemaScore. Great. Thank you for bringing up CinemaScore, because CinemaScore gave it an A-, which matches up to the 93% given by audiences. So it's a good movie. Don't listen to the critics. The critics are biased. Alexander says, John Campea tweeted a while ago screen caps of toxicity from his Last Jedi review. There were 3 or 4 death threats, but most of it was people saying shill. Yeah, no, seriously, like, no one is going to support any single person who has a death threat. No one's going to support any act of violence. I do not condone acts of violence. Jeremy does not condone acts of violence. Every single person, again, with any common sense that is not a crazy person, does not condone acts of violence for having an opinion. So even though he may have gotten those threats, unfortunately, it is something that comes with being in the public sphere. Again, I've gotten threats. I've gotten, attacked for my personal looks and everything. Like, hey, it happens. And you kind of got to take it in stride. Now, obviously, if someone makes a very severe and very particular threat, then that's when you give it to the police and say, hey, this needs to stop. But for saying that someone saying shill is equal to someone having a death threat against you, that's ridiculous. No. He is a shill. He's proven himself time and time again to be a shill, but that is not violence. Saying someone is a shill is not violent. So again, violent behavior, violent threats, bad. Calling someone a shill, that's okay. The boxing, Jeff Cotto, what is going on, Jeff Cotto? Long time no see. Soulsan says, how funny would it be if Battle Angel beats Captain Marvel, Robot Girl defeats Stuck Up Piece of Wood? I would be so happy with that. The only reason why Alita is going to have a lot more difficulty doing that is because of America. Because unfortunately, American audiences just don't go see those types of movies. They just don't support them. And there's a myriad of reasons why, mostly cultural. But unfortunately, that means the film is likely only going to make max $100 million in the United States, if it even makes that much. The real question is, and that's why I'm going to be waiting for those China and Japan numbers to come in this weekend, because if it can do really well there, then it does have the potential to be a $400, $500, $600 million film by the end of its run, if it does well there. But again, there's still a lot of question marks about how well it's going to do there. I think it's going to do well. It was, basically the people, the audiences in those countries like those types of movies, are drawn to those types of stories, and based on the buzz that I'm hearing around it, are going to go out of their way to support it. So I would not be surprised if it has a huge number in that foreign total. I honestly think by the end of its run, the split's going to be like 90-10. Like 90% of its total box office is going to come from the foreign market, and 10% is going to come from the United States. I think that's the kind of drastic Drask. That is going to be the wide contrast you're going to see between the two. I really do honestly believe that. Also, we got some people that joined the channel. So Wounded Makers, welcome to the channel. Star of Elohim, welcome to the channel. Scott Martin and Starks Touch, welcome to the channel as well. All right, where did I leave off? Where did I leave off? Alrighty. Yes, indeed. But I really do hope. Again, I'm hoping if it could be awesome, like if that, going back to what I was saying before, if it can really succeed, if it can really take off in China, Japan, and other markets too, because keep this in mind, it's already made $130 million, 94 million, so 94 million of that money has come from other foreign markets, so it's actually doing well. I talked about this in my box office breakdown on Geeks and Gamers. It's made 10 million, I want to say, in South Korea, which actually matches bigger films that made huge amounts of money. So it's doing very well in the Asian market just based on the early returns from South Korea alone. And so if that holds in these bigger countries that have a lot more box office receipts than than South Korea does, you could see a very, very, very large weekend for Alita coming up this weekend. Gabriel Alejandro Pandilla Rodriguez, thank you very much. He says, I watched Alita yesterday, Odin. The movie's plot is enough for me to read the actual translated comic manga for weebos everywhere and see the outcome. Nice, man. I'm almost interested to do it myself because I really do love the character. I think the character is so interesting. And then I watched the video. Someone had sent a video to me saying, hey, this gives a really good background onto everything. And I was thinking to myself, this is actually a really deep character. It actually has a lot of philosophical and almost even theological themes to it based on the review that I was watching. And it seems really cool. Alshpedia says, after the shills and media attacked it, I am even more excited. And yes, I despise 3D. I despise 3D as well. And I'm thinking of going back. In fact, I talked to my wife, and I think my wife actually has been convinced to go see it with me. And I think I'm going to try and convince her to go see it in the Dolby 3D because it is so good. I love it. Alex Martinez says 3 pounds and 5 ounces. Lita Latin says, has Alita made you want to look into the source material? I haven't dabbled myself. It kind of does. I've never read manga before, never in my life. I've read comics, but I've never read manga before, so I don't really know where to start with it. But also too, I'm an audio guy, so I have audiobooks that I love, and when it comes to manga, just like with anime and everything else, or at least with like comics, you need to be able to sit down and actually read it. And so I kind of am interested in looking into the source material, but I also realize I say that, but I know that I'm probably not going to have enough time to invest into all of these things, but I'm definitely interested nonetheless. Alligator says, those are actually euros, not pounds. Are you sure? It looks like a pound to me, bud. If I'm wrong, that's okay. They know what I mean. If I'm wrong, they know what I mean. Dalton Mortimer, what's going on, bruv? He says, the irony is the SJWs will rally around a Western white woman. Meanwhile, the anti-SJWs rally around an adaptation of a foreign woman of color. But yeah, we're totally racist and sexist. Yeah, that's the other thing, too. That's the other storyline that's not really going around, is that the lead actress that plays Alita is Hispanic. The manga is not of the Western world, and yet we're the ones that are racist and sexist and uncultured. Yeah, sure. Good luck with that narrative. Like, seriously. Vici, what is going on, bruv? Lily Patton, what's going on, girl? How's it going? John Madden is here. Oh boy, John Madden's here. Hey, I recently discovered you with the film industry going woke. Why do you think the game industry has largely avoided that trap? I don't know if you're supposed to be actually John Madden, but I try to read it as John Madden. I try to do the best John Madden impression that I possibly could. But I don't follow the video game industry, so I honestly don't know. I honestly do not follow it very much. I don't follow the Gamers Gate or the Comics Gate. I'm a movie guy. I'm strictly a movie television guy, so I honestly don't know. I don't know why. I assume it's because they realize that their audience is mostly men. And so if they were to try and politicize their games, they know that they would get destroyed. And you've actually kind of seen it already. You've seen games that have tried to go in that direction, and there's been a huge outcry against them. So I think that because the gaming genre is actually much smaller, I think, of an audience than movies or television, I think they realize we really cannot play around with this, because if we do, we get screwed over. Because keep this in mind, too. As much as it takes movies to be put together, it takes probably even more for video games to be put together. That's why it takes years of research, let alone the actual putting together of the game itself. So they're not going to just waste those years and waste all of that money they put into it to make a political point, is the reason why I would think. Because they know that it's going to screw them over in the end. Super says, Pensacon went crazy. They injected themselves in controversy they should have stayed out of. I think that is definitely, I agree with that. Again, I don't think that anyone should be making any threats towards them. I denounce any threats towards them. However, they are also the ones that, you know, put themselves into this situation. I'm sorry, like, again, it does not excuse, I'm not excusing the threats. As I said, I denounce them, and I think anyone that made a threat of violence should be prosecuted, because that kind of speech is not protected. Calling John Campea a shill, boom, that is free speech. I'm protected by that, and I will say he is a shill all day long. But saying, I'm going to hurt you, I'm going to do physical harm to you, that is not. That is a threat, and therefore it should be handled accordingly. So, but at the end of the day, and also, too, they think that, you know, what bothers me most about the Pensacon thing is that they put it all on Geeks and Gamers. They call him toxic, they call his community toxic, and yet they don't know for sure if it's even anyone from his community. He hasn't told anyone to do that. He's denounced it altogether, but also, could it possibly be a connection to the person that caused the entire controversy in the first place, with the person being accused of sexual assault or whatever it was that he was accused of? Could it possibly be a fan of his going off the deep end? I mean, how is it that you can only put the blame on Geeks and Gamers? How is it that you're only putting the blame on Jeremy for something that could be a wide variety of people? Lee the Lightning, thank you very much for the super chat. He says, shout out to my old Gamergate brothers and sisters. Let's see. Alex Martinez says, I am very picky with anime. I have friends who are anime purists. I hope Alita blows past expectations and makes $800 million at the end of its run. I hope Captain Marvel underperforms. I'm pretty confident Captain Marvel will underperform. The fact that the box office is trending downward and not upward. The fact that more and more people are just getting fed up with all of this nonsense that Brie Larson is doing. And also the fact that, you know, the foreign markets, especially when you get into the Asian markets, they do not really connect well with this type of mentality. They do not connect well with westernized SJWisms. So I think that you'll see a huge rejection in places like China. And I think that's going to overall affect the foreign market. And if the foreign market is really down and the domestic market doesn't live up to the hype, then as I said, my current range still is 450 to 650 million worldwide. And as much as I would love for Alita to make 800 million, it would need to have like a gigantic weekend this weekend. And I don't know if it's going to be that big. My prediction for Alita is that it's going to make money. I think Alita will be profitable, and I only base that off of my trust and my confidence on the history of the markets like China and Japan. That is the only reason why. If there was no history there, I would say we'll see, we'll wait for the weekend. However, the film will definitely, and I'm 99% sure the film will make money. The film will break even and also will make a profit and also will merit itself to earn a sequel. I really do think it will. And hopefully when they make the sequel, hopefully by then people will realize, oh, this is actually a good movie I should go see. And then when the sequel comes out, more people from the American audiences actually go out to support it. Zach Rest says, keep preaching, Odin. Well, thank you, Zach. I appreciate that. Mr. Peabody says, Odin, they shouldn't worry about the eyes. The film will make sense. It actually explains her. No, I agree. The eyes bothered me too. The first trailer sucked. I hated the first trailers. The first trailers, I was like, God, the CGI looks awful. Everything about this looks bad. But then you actually see the movie, and it looks really good. And everything works. Everything works very well. Joel Ragunanath, probably butchered your name. I'm so sorry about that. But Joel, welcome to the channel. Alpha Mardotia says, are you going to Pensacon? I don't think I'd be invited there anyway, so probably not. To be honest, I want to stay away from it because I'm afraid that something's going to happen. I really am. Like, I mean, if they're getting threats like this, it's like, that's not really a place that I would want to be if there's going to be chaos. Not really my idea of a good time. Lobster11, that is quite a name. Lobster11, welcome to the channel. Alexander says, I wonder how much Pensacon got paid to become soy creatures. I mean, I don't know if they got paid off. I think that they just made a choice and they made the wrong choice, but I don't know if they were exactly paid off. I wouldn't say that much. Oh man, I'm far behind the chat. It is indeed an open forum, so any comments, any questions, film related or not, that you want to bring up, you can do that in the chat. As I fall behind in the chat severely. Will Gentry says, have you ever tried to reach under and behind your sink to have to fasten a nut with your bare fingers because you can't fit a tool in there? Well, it bloody well hurts. Ouch. Well, Will Gentry, I've never done that before, and that sounds like it bloody well hurts. Francisco Mendez, Alita is a very rich character. The manga is very good. Good to hear. Dalton Mortimer says, read it, Odin. Read the manga. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. Dr. Morrill says, Brie Larson is so woke that she wants more representation on mobile phone. Oh, my goodness. She is the wokest of the woke, everybody. It's a Trap Production says, greetings, my lord. How's it going? Hello, everybody. Hello. It's a Trap. How art thou? How art thou doing? Alex Martinez, I want to read the manga too. That's why when I saw my favorite anime live-action adaptation, Ghost in the Shell, it was okay, but nowhere near as amazing as the movie or the show. God, I will say this. The live-action Ghost in the Shell sucked. The Scarlett Johansson one, I hated it. That one sucked. That one was boring as hell and was really, really bad on top of everything else that was wrong with it. But I will be honest, I also was not a huge fan of the original anime. At least the cartoon. I know it's not a cartoon. I know. Sorry, guys. I don't mean the anime. It's hard for me to always say. So not the comic, not the manga, but the anime. The anime movie, I just was never a big fan of. Just never got into it. Dark Detective says they're making a Rose Tico show like WTF. Wait, they're making a Rose Tico show? I mean, last time I heard they were making a Finn and Poe Dameron show, and then also a Kira and Lando show. Which, yeah, that's what everyone wants. Yeah, everyone wants a show based off two characters in a movie that lost $200 million at the box office. That's what we want. We want Kira and Lando. We want Lando continuing his pansexual ways, going off on adventures, having relationships with droids. That's what we want. Yeah, good job, Disney. You've really picked up on what the fans actually want in Star Wars by saying that. Ah, man, that's why, I mean, at this point, they're reports, so it's not official yet, but God, if those become official, it will prove that Disney has no bones about it. They are going off the deep end. They do not care what the fans think, and they will continue to just fall off a cliff and continue to push the IP known as Star Wars off the cliff with it. And hey, yeah, you know what? As John Boyega says, we don't care. All right, yeah, good luck with trying to get by with the audience that makes up the vast majority of your overall profits. That's all I have to say about that. Souls says, I found out that there's an anime version of Battle Angel, but I'm unsure to go down that rabbit hole. Yeah, but I'd say once you go down the rabbit hole, you can't stop. Elder Kuga says, Aquaman and Alita Battle Angel, would it be more of a reason to make a movement to push these types of movies more? Well, it depends. I mean, Aquaman, I was not as crazy about. Aquaman, I gave a C+ to. I think that's a fun movie. I support it more so because I wanted the film to make more than films like The Last Jedi, which sucked, or films like Black Panther, which I found to be overrated. But overall, I think that Battle Angel is much different because I think Battle Angel is just a damn good movie. And I think that it's good movies that should be supported, especially good movies that fit a narrative that the media does not want to push. You know, it fits a narrative that the media don't want to support, which means there is no narrative. There is no agenda behind it. And they don't like that. You know, I mentioned this, but I said this I was tweeting out to John Campion. I'm like, hey, well, we all know that you would have loved it and that all the critics would have given it high scores if this was dealing with a person of color who was engaging in a in a homosexual relationship. And on top of that, too, you had a bunch of drag queens and also a bunch of transgender people. Then, of course, oh, God, it would have been 95%. Oh, my God, a Battle Angel, it's revolutionary. It's revolutionary. Oh, yeah, that's right, because it fits the agenda, and so therefore I can support it. No, it's a good movie because it doesn't do any of that, because it's just a good story with good characters and good character arcs. God, John Campion, man. How does that guy have followers? That's the question I want to know. Hyprin, what's going on, bruv? How's it going? Super Anime Gamer says, well, the one thing that helps you out with Alita is that I'm pretty sure it's a mini-series. It's not something ongoing that has dozens of volumes. Yeah, I think that is correct. So it would be something that there would be a defined end to. So might be something to look into, maybe. Alexander says, I saw UA basically admit in his YouTube comments that he takes jabs at Jeremy for attention. Of course he does. And you know what? Good on him. If that's what gets him attention and views, great. The unfortunate thing is I'm pretty sure that man bought subscribers at one point because he's been bleeding subs and bleeding views. His average, last time I checked, his average was negative. His average monthly growth for subs and views was negative. So that tells me that all I really need to know about the channel that he has and the attention that he's getting. It's very interesting how it works out that way. Goods, welcome to the channel. Dark Detective says, do you think Justice League 2 will make $1 billion? Well, they haven't really officially announced Justice League 2, and it really just does depend on if they continue to go in this direction, yes. If they continue to go in this direction, there is no reason why Justice League 2 could not make $1 billion. I mean, Aquaman made $1 billion because they made it right. They understood what kind of film they should make. They understood what audiences they were trying to appease to, and they succeeded. And they marketed it well, and they released it at the right time. Yeah, that's right, John Campia. Releasing it in December was a great decision, because guess what? You release movies in December and also in the summer, and those are the best times to release movies if you want to make a crap ton of money. Why do you think Star Wars releases almost every single December? Because it's a good time to release movies, John Campia. Once again, how have you ever been hired? Oh, wait, that's right. You're married to somebody who is more famous than you and is more important than you because she is a part of, what, Hasbro? And so you just rode her coattails into your position of power and have been shilling it every day since. Yeah, that's right. I do the hot takes here sometimes. That guy just annoys me. Now, the reason why is because in his comments today for one of his videos, one of my subscribers, one of my followers, was commenting on his video. And the comments were basically saying, dude, the audiences love this film. And he was saying, no, they don't. He said the audiences are not loving Alita Battle Angel. And so my subscriber, my follower, made the point saying, well, look at Rotten Tomatoes. There's a 93% positive rating. And then John goes, oh, you can't trust that. That's all made up. There's no verification. You can't follow up on it. It's fake. Those reviews are fake. And then the best thing though is he ends it with the only reliable audience grader is Cinema Score, which interestingly enough, Cinema Score is an A-. So he says this point. He says fans don't like Alita. He then says that you can't trust the Rotten Tomatoes fan score. You can trust the critic score, but you can't trust the fan score. And then the one example of what a valid way to see how fans feel about the movie he gives says the same damn thing that the Rotten Tomatoes audience score does. Yes, that is Mr. Campia. Nico88, thank you very much for the $2.50 super chat. I'm low on cookies. Well, boom, you just got yourself some bonus cookies. You're welcome. But yeah, Justice League 2 definitely has a chance to make $1 billion. Alex Martinez says, also, I don't know if you heard Cowboy Bebop, my second favorite anime, is going to get a live action show on Netflix. After watching Death Note live action, I'm very concerned for it. I would be too. That is a show that does not need to be remade. That show is perfect as an anime. I actually just finished the anime, and it's a very solid show. I do have trouble following it from episode to episode because there are certain things. It's just the way the story is told is not the way that I'm used to experiencing a story. So I definitely had issues going from episode to episode, but each episode individually was fantastic. I mean, God, the soundtrack is phenomenal. The animation is great. And the story, the characters are also just absolutely fantastic. And the arcs that they all go on are all compelling. Every arc in that movie is better than anything that has been going on in the current world of SJW politics. That is for damn sure. But no, that's a big mistake. They should not do that live action. It is perfect the way it is. Alexander, okay, whatever, bro. Whatever you say, bro. I'm just going to call it out like it is. Dark Detective says, could Justice League 2 make $1 billion? I already answered that. Alexander says, Nico Blue just gave you euros. Well, I'm going to call it whatever it is that I want to call it. Alex Martinez says, also, Odin, I highly recommend the Ghost in the Shell original movie and sequel in the entire Cowboy Bebop series and movie. Cowboy Bebop series is great. I still need to see the movie. I did not like Ghost in the Shell, the original movie. It never grabbed my attention. I just couldn't get into it. I couldn't get into it. Even just the opening music was just, it was annoying. I just didn't like it. But Cowboy Bebop is fantastic. I will agree with you there. ABDR4, wokeness is a huge problem in games. Assassin's Creed Odyssey is a mess of gender politics. They've basically destroyed Tomb Raider. Yeah, and you know what? In the end of the day, they're the ones that are going to pay for it. Like, seriously, they're going to pay for it. Mupti says, what do you think of Pablo Hidalgo going extra crazy on Twitter recently? Well, he blocked me on Twitter because that's what a real man does. He calls out people. What's so funny is that my name was on the top of his list that he tweeted out for, like, toxic people. And I'm thinking to myself, dude, I barely ever tweeted at you, and yet I was at the top of your list. I started tweeting at him after I saw that, and I was like, dude, what's going on? And then, of course, he blocked me because, you know, he's a shill. Alexander says, remember that Gamergate is the movement. Gamersgate is a website that sells games. I don't follow either. So, Alex Hernandez, have you been? I've been okay, man. I've been all right. Had a nice dinner with the wife, so I'm doing pretty well. Doing pretty well over here, I would say. Pretty well. Where did I leave off? Man, I am so far behind. I am so very far behind. It is crazy. It is so crazy tonight. Good Lord, I didn't realize I was that far behind. What? I'm still far behind? I'm still... Wait, what? Guys, y'all are killing the chat right now. Oh, my God. Slow down. Slow your... God. Oh. What? What? Oh, my God. So that's a lot of comments that I have to catch up on. Will Gentry, did you see Tim Pool's video about Alita? Because he really didn't like it. As you like it, I'm curious to see what your thoughts on it. I didn't watch his whole video on it, but I mean, it's opinion. He can not like the movie all he wants. I do disagree with his mindset that it's a flop, though, because we don't know what the numbers for Japan and China are going to be yet. So it very well could still make, I think it's going to make money. Sith Kryptonian, taking a quick break from cramming for my exam to say howdy and thanks for sharing my vid. Oh, Dizzle. Sith Kryptonian is another great up-and-coming channel. Go give him some love. Give him some support. He does some very, very good videos, and he has a very soothing voice for radio. It's great stuff. Dalton Mortimer says, also, lest we forget, aside, Captain Marvel trailers looked as bland as the first Thors were. I agree. So bland. So very bland. Darth Morrill says, Alita will make more than Captain Marvel because it will dominate China and Japan for a while. It will, but also remember, movies are limited to like 4 weeks in China. That's just the way it works. If you have a movie that's from the United States, it's limited to only being there for 4 weeks. They do make extensions. For example, Aquaman got an extension because of how well it was doing, so that very well could happen, but that means that it's going to be max there for like 5 weeks or so, and at least in China. So it's definitely going to make money. Again, I don't deny that it's going to make money. The question is how much money, because you do realize that if it were to make like $800 million, that means it would need to make $700 million foreign market, which would be that would be crazy to me if it made 700 versus a estimated 100 million in the United States. That would be a huge divide. If it happens, hey, I'll be excited. I will be calling it out. If I see that trend happening this weekend, I will predict that and say, boom, this film's going to make money. You know, this film is going to make this much, and I'll actually give you like an actual estimate as to how much I think it's going to make. But that would be unheard of. It's not that I'm saying that's not possible, but it would be very, very much unheard of. 8-Bit Snake Boy says, Pensacon just decided to make Jeremy a scapegoat. The irony is that they were the ones throwing threats around. Whoever is responsible for the bomb business isn't one of us. No, it is not. And if you are, we condemn it. Will Gentry says, I think we should all go to Pensacon and wear t-shirts that stand, I stand with Queen Victoria, but have Queen and Toraya bits to tiny writing. Once again, I don't want to go because I really don't want to be anywhere there is any kind of threat. Even if the threat isn't credible, I don't want to be in that place. Also, too, why would I go? Because it means that I would have to, because in order for me to go, it means I'd probably have to pay money to go, and I'm not giving them money. I'm not going to give them my money at this point. Alphamar says, how long did it take you to grow the beard and mustache? Well, I've had the beard and mustache for over a year, but I haven't trimmed it in about 3 or 4 months. So I had a beard and then I just stopped trimming it and let it grow to this length. So this it's an odd question, but just so you know, it's been 3 or 4 months since I've trimmed it. It's gonna be trimmed soon though. It's still gonna be there, but it's gonna be trimmed before the sake of the wife. Perth Comics says, have you ever tried Tim Tam biscuits? No. What are they? And can you send me some? Zebulon says, the new adaptation of Alita is fantastic. Thanks for the recommend. Glad that you liked it, Zebulon. Oh, yeah, it's so good. Seriously, it's amazing. Mild Peril says, if flies couldn't fly, would they still be flies? Ooh, you took the open forum very seriously, Mild Peril. Mild Peril. I appreciate that. If flies couldn't fly, would they still be flies? Yes, because there are, fun fact, there are genetically engineered flies that don't have wings. They are made to not have wings because they're made to be food. Fun fact. So, yes, technically, because it's already been pre-established that they're called flies, if you take the same species, or I guess I don't know if it'd be species, but if you take the same genetic formula and then alter it so that they don't have wings, technically they're still flies because it's still from the same area. Super says, I don't know how Pensacon could peg it all on Geeks and Gamers. Pensacon originally spazzed over Vic Mignonia, which I think is probably the bigger issue at hand. Situation in the anime community, that's Comicsgate later picked up. Geeks and Gamers isn't really involved. Exactly. That's the biggest thing, Super. There are so many parties involved. There are so many people, channels that are talking about this story that to put it just on Geeks and Gamers is just ridiculous. And to me, it's them trying to take a pot shot at one of the bigger YouTube channels because they want attention for it. And they think it's going to help them, but it's not. Zen Waters says, don't feel bad. I only like a handful of anime. Yeah, I mean, I'm the same way. Soul Assassin says, you think Ghost in the Shell was bad? Check out Dragon Ball Evolution. Nearly killed DBZ for me. Oh no, Dragon Ball Evolution is a bad movie. However, Evolution is hilariously bad. I own it because I bought it for $3. It was on sale at Big Lots for $3, and I was like, for $3, I need to buy this movie because I need to remind myself what a bad movie is, and I need to have a movie that if I'm ever feeling down and I want to laugh and I want to think to myself, God, maybe I could make a movie one day. I at least know it could be better than that because, dear Lord, it was so bad. Intertrap Production says, it's been a rough day, my lord. My doctor's appointment was aggravating and people were driving like idiots on the road, but I'm glad to be here with my fellow Asgardians. Well, Intertrap, thank you very much for being here, man. Glad that you are doing okay. DJD Show, what's going on, bruv? Alex Martinez says, oh yeah, the live-action movie hurts, but it tried too many arcs and didn't focus on the original movie arc like it should have. This led to the weak plot, and Scarlet was miscast. Yeah, I agree with you there. Super says, of course we want a Lando and Kira show. Of course we want a Lando and Kira show. Who doesn't want to see their favorite character get cucked by the bestie? I know, right? Mirror Jeremy, what's going on, Mirror Jeremy? I think I heard that the Avatar: The Last Airbender TV show is on Amazon Prime, so if you have that, go for it. Peace, man. Back to work. Mirror Jeremy, thanks for stopping by. Yes, I've heard great things about that show. So I've heard I should check out the real Avatar, The Last Airbender, unlike the crappy Avatar. Good Lord, that movie. And series of like 6, 7, 8 movies that we're going to get. God save me. But yes, I've heard great things about that, so I'm glad to hear that's on Amazon Prime, because I do have Amazon Prime, so I might have to check that out. Raymond Henschhold, new name to the channel. Thank you very much for the $5 super chat. He says, Alita will be huge in Asia, as you know. In the end, after a month in theaters, the worldwide total, I think, will be 600 million to 700 million. I think that's a very strong possibility. Raymond, I think that's a very strong possibility. I wouldn't say by the end of this month, since this month ends in a couple weeks. I would say that by mid-March, it'll be close to 600-700 million. Though, of course, at that point, we'll be talking about Captain Marvel nonstop that everyone's going to forget about it. Don't worry, I'm not going to forget about it because trust me, I'm going to constantly be comparing Captain Marvel to Alita, because if there is a chance, if it has a gigantic opening in China and Japan this weekend, and if it is like pacing to make bank over there, and it's banking or it's making enough to get to the $650-700 million range, like projection wise, at that point, I think to myself, there's a chance that Alita, which supposedly bombed did bomb the United States technically, but was a huge bomb, the first big box office bomb. If there's a chance that that movie can beat and outpace and make more than Captain Marvel, I will be so happy. I will be ecstatic. And I would love to make videos comparing the two with each other. Seriously, I hope that happens. I really do. Hiram says, I'm surprised the cast of Episode 9 is over-exaggerating the emotion of wrapping things up, whereas the Endgame cast doesn't seem to go overboard about it. I know, seriously, they're acting like it's this big thing, and it's like, I understand that and I understand to an extent because I do shows. I've done musical theater since 1999, so I've done it for a very long time. This year will be my 20th year working at one place. Actually, I've been doing shows at this one place since I was 10, so it's gonna be crazy. But I will say this much: I know what it's like to end a show and to miss it and to miss the people that you get to see every single day. So I do understand to a point the emotion that's involved. However, what I don't appreciate is just that faux sense of oh my gosh, it's the end of a trilogy. That's what we're crying about. No. They're happy and they're emotional because they're not going to be on set every day with the people that they've just been on set with for several days. Like that's the honest truth about it. Alex Martinez says, Odin, with that said, it wasn't the worst live action and my expectations were so very low, I wouldn't be disappointed. I knew it would have never been good as the original. Okay, you're still talking about Ghost in the Shell. Peabody says, Odin, have you have seen scenes from Alita cartoon? It's just like a storyboard for the movie. Interesting, Peabody. I'll have to check that out. If you can send that to me, I'd appreciate it. Soul Assassin says, the Girl Scouts are selling Momoa cookies with Aquaman on the cover. It's hilarious. Oh my God, are you serious? That is amazing. I need me some Momoa cookies. However, I don't like coconut, and I'm pretty sure the Momoas are the one with the coconut in it. However, that fits because, I mean, he's Hawaiian, so it makes sense. Krista Joe, what's going on? Did you see the Marvel promo video of Captain Marvel's physical training Brie and the cast had to do? Sounds like they're trying to counter the criticism fans had of Brie pushing a Jeep. No, yeah, seriously, they're going through all the different trainings that they had to do, and I'm still like, okay, that's what every person does. Male or female, if you're in an action movie, every single person does training. I'm not impressed. You know what is impressive? It's impressive when the guys that are totally jacked and have to be totally jacked, like for example Chris Hemsworth, who does insane training, or the guys from 300 who do insane training, that's impressive. But if you're just working out to get in shape so that way you can do stunts, I'm not impressed by that. Oh, I pushed a Jeep. Yeah, it was in neutral. Mikey Martinez, what's going on, bruv? John Mann says, my biggest beef with Captain, I don't know why I keep on wanting to say this in the John Mann voice. My biggest beef with Carol Danvers is that they're trying to force her into being accepted as part of the MCU versus the characters who had years to grow. No, I agree. And Miss Marvel, Carol Danvers has been around since the 1960s. Like, that is a fact. But this iteration of the character has only been around since 2012. So, yeah, it is interesting that they're trying to push this essentially new character, like newest iteration of a character, over longer, more established ones. Alex Martinez says, yeah, now I want to watch Alita anime. Yeah, I mean, to say, anime I could probably get into. If there's an anime, there's a way I could watch the anime show, I could be into that. The manga, again, me and reading don't get along very well. I do much better when I get to listen to books, etc. Trap Production says, I used to respect Campea in the early days of The Last Jedi controversy, but as time went on and he took more shots at the fans, my respect for him went out the window, and I think a lot of people are feeling that way. I think much more people are against him than before because he's just shown himself to be a complete asshat. When he put those comments out the other day, when he called us basement-dwelling cousin humpers, his own words. You can find the tweets for himself. He deleted it because he realized, oh, I probably shouldn't have said that. And then he claimed he deleted it because, oh, no, I just realized that this would be good material for my show. And it's like, no. You realize that you were getting more negative feedback than anything else. You realize that you were helping people like us show and prove that you are indeed a total and utter asshat, and you try to take it back. But you can't take it back. Once it's out there, you can't take it back. You can't stop the signal, Mal. Alexander says, you don't even have to hide his name. He has very little viewers at this time. Yeah, UA is not doing very well. I hide his name out of respect for Steph because Steph does not want me saying that name. It's kind of like Voldemort for us. G-Monkey says, Odin tempted to see Alita Battle Angel, but I'm blind as a bat without my glasses, so 3D movies are out for me. That and not a big anime fan. All right, well then, G-Monkey, I would say go see a regular version of the movie and you'll still enjoy it. I saw it in Dolby 3D, loved it. Tina saw it in IMAX 3D and loved it. And I'm pretty sure Steph's version was just the regular 2D version, and she also loved it. So I would recommend it still. Even if you can't see it in 3D. Again, I hate 3D. So I'm not going to tell anyone that they have to see it in 3D. I'm just saying that my own personal experience, seeing it in the Dolby, everything looked pretty damn fine. Everything looked very, very good. So that's why I recommend it, because that's how I saw the movie. Anthony Aguirre? Anthony Aguirre, welcome. Hail to you, good sir. Alexander says, Kira and Pando TV show. Lethal Lion says, so you're saying I should get with Campea's wife. Okay, no, Lethal, I'm not saying that. Lethal. I am not saying that at all. Lethal, put it away, man. Calm down, put it away. Go sit in the corner and think about what you just said. Oh, man. Let's see, Hypern says, Dune releasing on Thanksgiving is definitely something unique for once. I honestly thought it would release during Christmas or summer, but hey, good enough for me. Yeah, I'm just excited that it's coming out at all. Anything that allows me to see another Denis Villeneuve take on a huge topic and make another modern epic is going to have me enthralled. If he can do with Dune what he did with Blade Runner 2049 and also get some actual studio backing as well so that it can make money, I will be very, very excited for it. Alpha Mars says, do you play consoles? Have you played Resident Evil 2 Remake? I'm not a big gamer. I just have my PC. I've played a little bit of Fortnite, and that's pretty much it. Pretty much all I've played. Entertainment Hacker says, John Campea doesn't care what he says. He has mental issues. Am I not making a joke? Something is wrong. Dark Detective says, who would you cast as the next Batman? I've been wanting Jake Gyllenhaal. Unfortunately, he's committed himself to another movie and as another character. But I love Gyllenhaal. I think he would be great. To be honest, if they were to pick up where Nolan left off and had Joseph Gordon-Levitt be the next Batman, I'd be okay with that too. I like JGL. I overall like him as an actor. I think that he's a fine actor. But if I had my absolute perfect choice of ones that I would like to see, Jake Gyllenhaal. I love Jake Gyllenhaal. If you ever want to understand why I love Jake Gyllenhaal so much, watch one movie called Nightcrawler. It will change your life. If you have a negative view of Jake Gyllenhaal, watch Nightcrawler and you'll think to yourself, God, this guy can act. And Also, as you watch the movie, think to yourself, this guy didn't even get nominated for an Oscar for this performance. Yes, Jake Gyllenhaal, the love of my life. Lobster11 agreed. Odin, thank you. Krista Joe says to tag Odin in comment. Thank you, Krista Joe. I appreciate it. So yes, Krista, all you need to do is put Odin. If Odin is anywhere, guys, this goes for all 108 of you still watching. Damn. Thank you. Welcome to the channel, guys. If you want to get my attention, if you want to ask a question, if you want me to read something, just put ODIN, Odin, anywhere in your comment, and it'll pop up as orange for me, and then I'll read it. So if you're watching this right now and you're thinking to yourself, where are these chats and comments that he's reading? These aren't super chats. So again, you do not have to super chat for me to read your comment. However, because I do read the comments, it means I fall behind. So right now, I'm very, very far behind, which is why you're going to see me read comments and answer questions that were probably asked 30 minutes ago. I don't know what it is now. I'm sure my Valkyrie can let y'all know how far back I am. But I do read the comments. It's one of the things that I'm going to keep on trying to do as long as I possibly can on this channel. I don't want to become a super chat only channel, though I appreciate super chats, and I will read your comment faster if you super chat, obviously, because it'll pop up for me and I'll be able to read it right away. But if not, you can just put Odin anywhere in your comment and I will read it. There are certain times when the chat jumps and then it erases, like I can't scroll back a certain amount. And when those things happen, I'll tell you when to comment again. But right now, I am still good. Dark Detective, could any movie make $3 billion? Dark Detective, I think you were asking this question the other day when I had some people on, so I'm so sorry I wasn't able to get to it. But obviously, when there are other people talking, it's impossible for me to read everything. I think it's definitely possible. And the reason why is because, one, of inflation. I think that overall, when you look to how much films have made over time, the fact that Avatar made $2.7 billion makes me want to think that eventually we are going to get a film that gets close to it. I honestly thought Infinity War could be that movie to get to $3 billion. Unfortunately, it just, it stopped making money. Endgame, I think, could definitely, I think Endgame is a guaranteed $2 billion film, which I think would be very, very impressive for Marvel, especially to have two back-to-back years of $2 billion films. I think that would be incredible. It would be an incredible and historical feat for the box office. However, I would say that for $3 billion, it would need to be one of the biggest movies of all time. You would need to have involvement from, like, the actual, like, the Chinese film industry, because if you can get China completely involved enough to where they'll keep the movie out there in theaters for as long as possible, that's where you're gonna get that's how you get to $1 billion. Basically, you need to make $1 billion in China alone, and then the possibility of you making $2 billion everywhere else is something that could happen. So there would need to be a lot of factors in place for that $3 billion to happen, at least now. Over time, as we see inflation and everything like that, I think that eventually we will reach that milestone. But as of now, there are a lot of factors that could eventually lead to it. CWD Trixie says, though it has been good for Alita now, I greatly worry about a Gundam live-action movie. Not only is it anime, but it's also mecha, and that is very hard to turn live action. You would say that, but then Transformers in the very beginning did very well. Again, almost every Transformers movie made bank up until this recent one. Bumblebee actually did not do well. I want to say it capped out at like 400 million worldwide, which for a, and let me double check that. I want to try and always give you the most up-to-date facts I can, but Bumblebee did not do well. And the reason why is because it had to come out in the shadow of all of the other really bad Transformers movies that came before it. I also would add on to it that the writing sucked. That's just my own thought on it, because the writer is just not talented. She just does not do good work. But just to give you kind of a perspective on this, for Bumblebee, so technically a Transformers film, it made $126 million domestically and made $332 overseas, and therefore only made $458 million, and the budget for it was $135, meaning that the film maybe barely broke even or possibly made a small profit. I haven't actually broken down the numbers on Bumblebee because I kind of forgot that it existed, but yeah, things were not looking good overall for it. Aww, my puppies were wanting to see me. But yeah, so I think that Gundam could work. I think that it could work. I don't think that just there being, machines on screen would hurt it, because also Pacific Rim did well too. So it really basically depends on who's behind the film, how well they market it, and is it a good movie. So a lot of those things need to be put in place. Tina, thank you for explaining to them how it works, and I'll use that as my reference point as the chat has jumped on me. And let's see, where are we? All right, guys, it has indeed happened. So the chat has jumped on me. So right now I'm going to pick up where it left off. And so therefore, if I skip your comments, you can post it again. Don't just start posting and spamming, though. Just listen and think to yourself, oh, I posted before this guy. And if you posted before the people that I'm about to read through, post it again. Again, I'm sorry about that. Unfortunately, I don't have an actual way of being able to follow the chat without it jumping on me. So Mr. Schiff says, who the F is John Campea? That is a great question, and I'll just leave it as that question. Darth Morrill says, Odin, of the top of your head, what do you think? Oh, on the top of your head, off the top of your head, what do you think the Warner Brothers will sort everything with Henry Cavill and do Man of Steel 2? At this point, yes. I think that with Aquaman doing as well as it is, with the future for it looking very bright, I think Shazam is going to do well too. I don't think Shazam's going to make $1 billion, but I think Shazam is going to be profitable. And I think once they get 2 profitable films in their belt, that's when they'll be able to come to the table with Henry Cavill, and then that's when they're going to be able to make a deal. Because Henry Cavill is a great choice to play Superman, but they need to get their act together. Because they can't just put Man of Steel 2 out and expect it to do well. They need not just him, but they need to be able to create a good story. And obviously, I think that exists without Zack Snyder. I don't think Zack Snyder helped the DCEU. I think Zack Snyder held the DCU back in a lot of ways. And I feel so bad for his family situation. My thoughts and prayers are out for him and his family and everything they had to go through. But at the same time, too, that does not mean that his movies are great. His world building is great. And so I think that they're going to be able to move on without him, and I think Man of Steel 2 could definitely come together with Henry Cavill still aboard, is what I think. Eldic Huga says, Odin with the left attacking a movie based on a series that is from another country that doesn't push any agenda while promoting at Whammon in Disney movie that is publicly insulting its fans. Yeah, Elric, sorry, that was a little bit broken up, but I think I get what you're saying. Yeah, it is interesting that they are going after a movie. They are criticizing a movie that it was, that's based off of the source material from another country, while at the same time promoting a Whammon simply because she's a Whammon, and at the same time attacking their fans for not supporting the Whammon because that Whammon also happens to be very political and people are tired of that nonsense. Yes, it's not good for them. It's not a good look for them at all. Raymond Hedgehold said, thank you for the $4 super chat. Glass made 10 times its budget. M. Night must be happy. Dude, Glass made bank. Now, you'll look at the box office number and you'll think to yourself, okay, that's not a giant number. But when you remember that it was only made for $20 million, so Glass overall was made for $20 million. Sorry, I'm going to do some quick math on you guys. I love the box office. What can I say? So they made it for $20 million, which means it costs $10 million to market it. Just so you guys know, whenever a movie is made, the marketing cost is normally, rule of thumb, half of the so-called production budget. Production budget would include the cost of the film, of the sets, of the time, etc. So the overall stuff that goes into the production of a film. Marketing, of course, happens, post-production and after. And so normally they'll spend half of what they spent on the production budget. So overall, the production budget for Glass was $20 million. Therefore, the marketing, half of that would be $10 million. So the total cost of the project would be a whopping $30 million. I know, right? Overall, worldwide, Glass made $235.6 million. So it cost them $30 million. They made $236 million. It gets 60% of the studio, that is, gets 60% of that $236 million. So yeah, they're very happy right now. They made over $100 million in profits. That is a very, very good return on the investment. No doubt in my mind. But also, Raymond, thank you again for that super chat. Appreciate it. Super Anime Gamer in the chat says, I think part of the reason Pensacon is going so hard in the paint is because one of Vic's primary accusers and coworkers is attending the con, but still crazy. Yeah, and I don't know anything about it. I honestly don't. The only thing I know about it is from what Jeremy has covered, because I don't really... And I'm not trying to be mean about this. I just don't care much about Pensacon. I don't care about that. I don't know anything about this guy they're talking about, so I don't really care to know about it. All I know is that just because there's an accusation doesn't mean it's true. I don't know any of the details behind it. It very well could be credible. There very well could be evidence, but at the end of the day, if it's just an accusation, I'm sorry, but we need to stop living in a world where I can accuse somebody of something and then I must be believed just because I accuse them. I'm sorry, that's a dangerous world to live in. It's a dangerous world to live in when every person is said to have to be believed, but it only works that way if it's politically relevant. because there's plenty of politicians right now who are being accused of various things, but because they're a part of a political party, they're protected. It's like, no, no, no. If you're going to do it, you got to treat everybody like that. But how about we just stop this whole, oh, I'm accused and so therefore I'm guilty? No, that's not how it works. That's not how due process works, people. Have you ever seen 12 Angry Men? Go do yourself a favor and watch it. Oh, I can't because it's 12 Angry Men and I'm woke and I can't do that. Okay, well then you have problems. So how about you just, you know, just shut your mouth. Just feel like saying that to somebody. Gabriel says, funny question, which of your dogs is Hati and the other Skull, Norse mythos? Yeah, I got that today. Actually, it's funny because one of my students today came around and said, how are your, you know, he said, how's Hati and how's Skull? And I'm like, oh, okay, you're making that kind of a reference. So not knowing as much as I should know about the mythos behind that, I would want to say that River is Skull and Willow is Hati. And the reason why is because when they say their names, because of course my dogs have voices, when they say their names, I could totally see Willow just going, my name is Hati. Hati is my name. Yes, I know that Willow sounds like an SJW. It's totally by coincidence. I have a very limited amount of voices that I can do. Alpha Mar says, the SJW movement is like Nazi Germany. They're overreaching their forces via fighting in many fronts. Games, comic books, films, and anime. Of course, people are still fighting them. Yes, but also, too, they're starting to eat their own. The problem with SJW is, and the problem with identity politics is that eventually you run out of people to blame, and then the only persons left to blame are your friends or yourself, and then everything falls apart. So I think that eventually we will reach a point where it'll come crumbling down. I just hope it happens much sooner rather than later. Soybeans Jeremy says, your thoughts on when the SJW movement will end? Well, actually just talked about that. Not anytime soon. Not anytime soon. The whole eating themselves thing, I'd say we got another 10, 15, 20 years. And at that point, God knows what's going to happen. Tina says, that's Captain Whammon, Odin. Don't forget that you're a white, don't forget that, you white male patriarch. Thanks, Tina, for reminding me of my place in this world. Thank you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I forgot that I have privilege. I forgot that none of you have privilege. Only I have privilege because I have white skin and I'm a male. Sorry, I forgot. Tina, thank you for reminding me. Thank you for reminding me. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. I need to learn how to check my privilege. And let me just, hold on. All right, my privilege has been checked. It sounds very healthy. My privilege sounds very healthy right now. My privilege is at about 80 beats per second. And I think if you're going to have a very nice privilege, if you're going to have a very solid white privilege, you need to have it around 75 to 80. Because keep this in mind, to have white privilege, to have white male privilege means that you don't care about anything. You don't have a care in the world. You're not afraid of anything. The world is at your fingertips when you're a white male. And so therefore your heart rate should match that. And so if you're between 75 and 80, chances are you're a white male. So thank you, Tina. I appreciate that. Someone please turn that into a meme. God. Super says, I wish I could forget about the whole controversy. As a 2000s kid, I grew up on DBZ Kai, English dub, and this situation has decimated like a precious part of my childhood and Vic's career. God, yeah. And also, I don't even know who Vic is. To be honest, I don't even know who Vic is. I'm sure he's someone that I know, like from DBZ, but I honestly, I don't know. Because I don't know their names. ABDR4 says, any advice for someone thinking of starting a YouTube channel? I have videos, ideas, but I'm stuck on a name and logo. I know I'm in for backlash since I am a lifelong sci-fi fan and anti-feminist woman. AB, all I can say is basically go with what you're comfortable with. If you need to play around with names in the very beginning, play around with names. I didn't know that I was going to stick around with Odin's Movie Blog. I thought, God, that's a mouthful. And yet it stuck. So really, it just depends basically name your channel something that identifies you and also identifies your content. For me, obviously, I focus on movie and pop culture, and so movie blog works for me. But focus on that. Focus on the content you want to cover, your personality. Maybe you have a nickname. If someone gave you a nickname at some point, that might be a good thing too. Odin, that was my nickname. Again, that was a nickname I was given in high school, and that's something that I decided to bring into this. So that would be what I would recommend. And as far as videos, just start filming. You know, put yourself out there, get feedback. You can reach out to me. Seriously, if you're looking for software or hardware advice, tweet me. You know, just direct message me on Twitter, email me, and I'll get back to you. I can't promise that I'll get back to you right away, but I'll do the very best that I can to reach out to you and help you out with whatever you can. That goes for anybody, anyone that wants to get started with it. You know, obviously, please don't bombard me with just nonstop messages, because at that point, I'm going to have to step back and say, hold on, I can only handle so much at a time. But yeah, I mean, if you send me every now and then and say, hey, this is what I'm doing, any advice, any pointers, I'd be like, yeah, sure, absolutely. So yeah, let me know if I can help you. Dalton says, Odin sings? That's glorious. Yes, I do. Yes. Apparently, I don't know if I can sing. I do sing. I don't know if I can sing. I hope that you know that there's a difference there. Hyperman says, quoting Thanos for episode 9, I know what it's like to cry, to feel so desperately wasted, yet to fail nonetheless. Damn right. Samoas. Jensen DCT, welcome to the channel. Rob G, that's a good idea, Odin. You should do karaoke. Karaoke? I used to do karaoke. In fact, you can probably find videos of me doing karaoke on another channel. I'm not going to give you the name of it. That's going to be half the fun, is you finding it. But there are videos of me indeed doing karaoke. So, at an actual karaoke bar, nonetheless. Soul Assassin says, it's true, there's making serious bank from everyone in town. Nice. Glad to hear it, Soul Assassin. Lila Lightning says, Brie Larson pushed a Jeep to empower women, but can't push a smile to her face to live life as a woman is to live life on the defense. Oh, you speak such truth to power. Darth Maul, you think it would be... How shocking do you think it would be if Shazam made $1 billion? If Shazam made $1 billion, I would be incredibly surprised. I think there is a 2% chance that Shazam makes $1 billion. I think it's going to make money. I think it's going to make profit for sure. But $1 billion for a comedy? It's hard. It's hard to do that. Because, you know, some people say, oh, but a lot of the comic book movies are comedies. No, a lot of the comic book movies are action movies first with comedic elements. This is being played and promoted as a comedy movie. So because of that, I feel like its box office is slightly limited. I just can't see it making the $1 billion. I just can't see it. Jagan75 says, does Brie Larson look like every other white girl you've seen on the street? I've heard that from somebody. Also, I heard that you said to Campia, I heard what you said to Camp, you said the right words. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, Campia is just to Campia. But thank you, man. I don't know about every other person I've ever seen on the street. I wouldn't go that far, but, you know, thank you anyway. Thomas Gilkey. Oh, my God. Thank you very much, man. Thank you for the $20 donation through Streamlabs. He said, just wanted to say thank you for everything you do. I was inspired to start my own YouTube channel and do videos because of people like you and Jeremy. Much love, brother. Well, Thomas Gilkey, man, thank you, man. I really do appreciate your support, your donation. And, guys, go check out Thomas Gilkey's channel. Go give him some love. Go give him some feedback. Trust me. You know, you gotta. He always. You know, all of us start somewhere. Again, I remember I started less than a year ago. It's insane to me to think that I started this channel less than a year ago, like officially, like actually doing videos for it. And it's amazing to see that we're almost at 11,000. I was checking it today. I was like, God, we've almost gone up another 1,000 subs in just like less than a week. That's crazy. And just the outreach and everything has just been amazing. But we all start somewhere, and we all need support. So Thomas Gilkey, man, thank you. Thank you very much, man, for your support. I really do appreciate it. And guys, go check out his channel. Go give him some support. Go give him some love and give him some feedback. We all need it. Especially me. I still need feedback. Lila Lightning says, throwback to that time Odin swore on stream, good times. Oh, God, yes. Lord almighty, that was insane. 70B says, yep, UA, and thank you. You're welcome, Steph. I got you. Mr. Peabody says, Odin sent you a link in Discord, but if people type in YouTube, who is Alita, it is a good watch. Awesome, Peabody. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate it. Alex Martinez says, I highly recommend My Hero Academy anime. It has 3 seasons, and the 4th is being made right now. It's a GOAT anime. All right. Good to know. Good to know. Peabody says, after watching Alita in 2D, I'm going to see it in 3D, even though I have to wear glasses over my glasses. Nice, Peabody. I'm glad that you liked it. Glad that you liked it, man. Let me know what your thoughts are on the 3D, man. I thought it looked beautiful. Hiram says, since the How It Should Have Ended channel have made pubs for both heroes and villains, there should be one for Mary Sue's. Ray, Holdo, Captain Marvel. Hey, man, throw that their way. I mean, I don't know what they do. I don't know if they take new ideas, but hey, might as well throw it out there, see what sticks. Marvel Man TV says, how do you think Miss Marvel would be handled in the MCU? Would it just be for political commentary because she is Muslim and Brie wants her to be in the second Captain Marvel movie? Yes. 100% yes. If they're handling Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers, this way, they will use Miss Marvel as a political ploy. No question about it. Which is one of the many reasons why I want this movie, Captain Marvel, to fail, is because this movie is this type of movie making and movie promotion needs to be made very clear by the audience. We will not buy it. We will not support movies that have this type of political agenda. We do not want to go see movies because you want to try and make some kind of woke commentary. The way that starts is by not supporting it. So, because Alita Battle Angel very likely could still be in theaters when Captain Marvel comes out, I recommend to you, if you actually want to see Captain Marvel, buy a ticket to Alita, go into a theater playing Captain Marvel. I'm sure it won't be that hard. Nico Blue, worst movie you've ever watched? We talked about this on the 5-hour stream the other day, and I would probably say R.I.P.D. In a theater, R.I.P.D. I slept through almost the entire thing. And I looked over at my brother, and I was like, was it any good? And he said, nope. And I was like, perfect. That's all I needed to know. Suicide Grunt says, what movie could be an unexpected success in 2019? God, y'all always put me on the spot with these things. So I'm actually going to cheat. I'm going to do 2019 movies. A surprising hits. What do you mean by hit? Because if you mean like big box office success, Shazam, I think will be a big box office success. I think it's going to make a lot of money. Though I don't know if that's much of a surprise necessarily. Alita, I would still say Alita is going to be a surprise hit. Everyone's writing it off saying, oh God, it's not going to make any money. It's a flop. Once those China, Japan numbers come out, I think they will be all doing a different tune. And all of you can come back to my channel, and if that does happen, because again, if it doesn't happen, boom, I will admit, I'll say, boom, I was wrong. It happens, guys. I was wrong. But if it does happen, I will love for every one of you guys to come back to my channel and be like, boom, dude, you called it. And not just me, but so many other people. Many people watching this stream called it. What else comes out this year, though? I'm trying to see. I'm not seeing anything that would be a surprise hit, because like Hobbs and Shaw, that'll make money. Men in Black International, that'll make money. Fighting with My Family comes out this week. That one, I'll go there. Fighting with My Family. It's a movie based off of Paige, who is a female superstar for the WWE, who recently was forced to retire, very, very sadly. And it's all about her family origin story, and it looks awesome. As a wrestling fan, it looks great. I think the cast looks great. I think it could make money. Because The Rock is not only in it, but produced it, I think that he'll get a lot of support for it. So, yeah, I'll go with that one. Fighting with My Family. Surprise hit. Unexpected success. Super says, John Hamm is the only correct choice for Batman. John Hamm would be okay. John Hamm, again, I don't hate John Hamm, but no, Jake Gyllenhaal way before John Hamm, in my opinion. Lonely Banner says Jake's one of my favorites too. Good. That is the correct answer. Hologram Nunchuck. It's been so long, man. Hail Odin can't stay though. Working right now, dude. What's going on, man? You're never around. Alexander. What about Kevin Spacey? He looks just about as much like Batman as JGL. Psh, please. Zorro, thank you, Odin. You're awesome, bro. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Hireman says, Jake Gyllenhaal is amazing for me because of his range. He can be a buff boxer from Southpaw. Great shout. To the manipulative character from Nightcrawler, he is phenomenal. Oh, my God. He is so good. And you're right. He has one of the best ranges of any actor working right now. And I would say he is probably by far my favorite actor working right now in Hollywood. Bruce says, Odin. Damn right. Bjorn says, Corrodin. Tina, it's now 7:17 Central Standard Time. It is now 7:40 Central Standard Time. Yeah, I'm a little over 20 minutes behind. Gannison says, Odin, I love you. Well, thank you. I don't know what you're saying I love you too. Will Gender says, out of curiosity, does it have to be Odin or does Odin light up for you too? I know that you probably meant that seriously, but to me, I'm just like, I just see trolling of, hey, you know, Odin. Seriously, anytime I see the letters ODIN, if they are in that order, it'll pop up for me. Zora says, Odin, who is your favorite Sith? Palpatine. Specifically, Revenge of the Sith Palpatine. No, you will die. Unlimited power. Oh, my God. Oh, I love it. Love it. Wished upon a vlog. Wished upon a star is what I like to call. Thank you very much for sticking around. What would you think of Scott Adkins as Batman? I recognize the name, but let me just make sure that it's the person that I'm thinking of. I could see that. Absolutely. I think he's got the look for Bruce Wayne. He does not have he doesn't have the name recognition. I don't think he has enough name recognition to be able to pull it off, though. But definitely could. I mean, he's in a crap ton of action films, so it looks like he can do stunts. So he has the look, and also he has the background. So yeah, I would say that that's definitely a good shout. Good job, Wish Upon. Appreciate you being here. Matthew got a. Why is Disney? Hold on. Hybrid says, thank God, Odin, for not overbloated super chats. Well, thank you, Hybrid. I appreciate that, man. Matthew Goddard says, why is Disney not getting the message about why fans hated The Last Jedi? It's like they believe their own lies and spin because they'd rather just stay in their tiny little echo chambers and feel good about themselves. The real world is not as pretty as that. The real world is harsh. The real world is cruel. And they would rather just be on their ivory towers of pain and of their ivory towers of wokeness and of victimhood. Because it's easier. It's much easier to play a victim than it is to actually live in the real world. It's a sad state of things. James Clark. What's going on, James Clark? How's it going, bro? Will Gentry says, there's an argument that if IW was released as many as times as Avatar was, it could have made $3 billion. IW, Infinity War, was re-released as many times. Oh, okay. Well, the reason why I would say no to that is because Avatar was already at that huge number before the re-releases took place. So, but it's possible. I think there might be an argument there somewhere. I haven't done the research on that, so I'd have to look into that. Mark O'Quist, what's going on, bruv? How many Wednesday Raven Awards coming along? Dude, thank you. The Wednesday Raven Awards, man. I'm going to try and close up the ballot on Wednesday, so that way I can try and prepare everything. So it's going well. 167 people have responded, which is a hell of a lot more than I thought it was going to be. There's really no surprises as far as the best movie of 2018, but the 2 through 10 slots are what the real interesting thing is, because there's some close races going on in those slots. In a lot of the other areas, though, it's pretty straightforward. Best point, I'll give you a little bit of insight right now. Best Pointless Remake right now is at a tie. Best Pointless Remake is currently at a tie with 40 votes apiece. Let's see. Are there any other close races going on? I'm not going to tell you which ones. I don't want to influence the vote that way. But yeah, right now we have one tie, which is insane to me. But it's going well. So yeah, anyway, guys, if you don't know, on Sunday, this coming Sunday, we'll be doing the first ever Wednesday Raven Awards. So we'll be boycotting the Oscars, doing our own award show here. Still trying to figure out all the details behind it, but we'll be announcing the winners to the 24 categories that you all voted on. So it's very exciting. It's very, very, very exciting. But thank you very much for that question. Elda Kyuga says, I've been reading manga for over 15 years. I got a good amount of knowledge. So if you're interested in reading manga, ask me for suggestions if you like. Well, Elric, if you want to maybe email me or direct message me on Twitter with some recommendations, I'd appreciate it. Otherwise, I'm going to forget. I have a terrible memory. Hyper says, not sure for Endgame because of regarding the 3-hour mark, but I hope it can surpass Infinity War. Yeah, Endgame, the 3-hour mark is not going to hurt as much as you would think. And I think the reason why is because, one, Disney is behind it. So Disney is going to rent out several theaters, several screens at every theater, so that the 3 hours does not keep the number of showtimes it can have down. That's how they're going to make up for it. Alexander says, the actions of Pensacon are positive for SJW cancer. No normal decision-making here. Move along. Lobster11 says, also Pacific Rim. The first one was okay. The second one was crap, but the pure kaiju and mecha. Yeah, I didn't see the second one. I just didn't really feel the need to go see it, and when I heard everyone say it was crap, I was like, okay. First Pacific Rim was great, though. I definitely loved the first one. Oh, man, this is all about Gundam. Oh, man. All right, well, the chat jumped on me again, guys, so I'm going to do everything that I can to try and... All right, chat jumped on me again, guys, so once again, if I missed your chat, I am sorry. Dr. Ted says, what future Marvel movie can make $1 or $2 billion? Ooh, let me see. Marvel movies. Obviously, Endgame. Other than Endgame, that would be the one that would be on my list. There are still a lot of untitled movies coming out, so we don't really have anything quite official yet as far as that's concerned because of it. But let me try and see. We have Infinity War. Where's the list of the upcoming movies? Where is the list of the upcoming movies? Let's say Homecoming, or rather Far From Home is not going to make $1 billion. I can't see that happening. Guardians Volume 3, probably not. Eternals, probably not. Black Panther sequel. Black Panther sequel could. And I think the reason why is because Black Panther, the first one, did $700 million here in the United States. I think it will definitely either repeat, match, or barely miss that mark. And because of that, it only needs to make $300 million worldwide, which it's going to do. So I would say Black Panther sequel, Black Panther 2. And I'm not saying I want it to, but based on the ones I'm seeing right now, Black Panther 2 is probably the most likely, since it made 1.3 the first time, the most likely to make the $1 billion mark. So, good question. Celtic Dave, good evening, Odin. How you doing, buddy? I'm doing all right, man. How you doing? Dark Detective says, a quantum realm explosion can explain the X-Men and Fantastic Four. Ooh, I would love for them to be brought into it. I don't think they're going to bring them in because the Fox deal has not gone through yet. Lila Lightning says, did you know Spider-Man PS4 outsold Homecoming? Hashtag gamers rise up. Nice. Very cool. Will Gentry says, I think, but also to be fair, I loved Homecoming. I thought Spider-Man Homecoming was great. I had fun with it. Go ahead, hate me. Go ahead, hit me. Hit me. Will Gentry says, Odin, I think it skipped past my answer to a previous question. If flies couldn't fly, they'd be called walks. Ah, that's good. Yeah, I didn't get that response. Krista Joe said, thoughts on the news with Tom Hiddleston's Loki series having a writer attached to it and the premise being Loki traveling throughout history and his presence affecting it sounds intriguing. Krista Joe, I did not know that was the storyline, and I love it. Tom Hiddleston is amazing. His Loki is amazing. And if I get to see him traveling through time and history, yes, that would be a good show. Angry Crow, welcome to the channel, says, Odin, I'm sorry about asking again, but I was wondering if you had any thoughts on X-Men Dark Phoenix, and do you think Rogue can save the MCU if she takes Captain Marvel's powers going into X-Men? I would love for that to happen. Don't think it's going to happen, but I would love for that to happen. If that happened, I would stand and cheer. I'd be like, yes, thank you, Captain Whammon, no more powers. Go to the back of the line, please. Go away, Carol Danvers. I would be very happy for it. So yes, I think Rogue doing that would save it. They're not going to do that, unfortunately. The fact that she got a $5 million payday, which is 10 times more than any of the other actors got on their first movies. They've obviously invested a lot of money into her, and they're going fully ahead, unless of course there is a big thing that happens in the box office, which remains to be seen. But Dark Phoenix, Apocalypse was so bad. I really did not like Apocalypse, and because of that, I'm not really excited for this. I loved First Class. First Class, to me, is the best. I actually like First Class more than Days of Future Past, though both are excellent movies. Both are excellent films. I'm not sold on Dark Phoenix, though. Not excited for Dark Phoenix. Ariak says, what's your take on Timcast calling Alita a flop? Well, Timcast, again, I respect his opinion for not liking the movie. However, he is basing his thoughts on domestic numbers only. He is only basing it off domestic numbers. China and Japan have not come in yet. And also, it's not open in several other countries. So let me just give you a little bit of insight here. Let me go ahead and pull up the numbers for it right now. So at this point, it's made $137.3 million. It only needs to make $430 million worldwide to break even. I say only. Obviously, that is still, a chunk of change. But at that $430 million, it would be able to break even for its budget. That's including the 60% take and everything else. So again, all the math has been done. $430 million is its break-even number. With that being said, it's at $137 million right now, and it has not opened in China or Japan yet. We still have a lot of markets in which it has not come out yet. In South Korea, it's made $10.8 million. That is a huge number for South Korea. Just to give you a little bit of an understanding, let's take the biggest movie of last year. So again, $10 million in South Korea. $10 million in South Korea. Remember that number. If you go to Infinity War, South Korea gave Infinity War $88.5 million. So obviously it's not close to that, but it should give you an understanding of how much money South Korea has. The fact that in the opening weekend it made $10 million means that it's likely going to end closer to the $20 to $30 million mark for South Korea, which is very, very good. And that's before coming in China. In China, Infinity War made $359 million. I think that Alita could make upwards of $100 to $150 million in China. I think that, I mean, let's see, Infinity War in Japan made $33 million. I think that you could see $10 to $15, $20 million made in China, maybe even more in Japan, to be honest. And I think all of those numbers will help Alita get over that hump and will end up making it a profitable. So, yes, he is looking at the domestic totals because domestically, it is not looking good. It might only make $100 million domestically in the United States. But that foreign number, I'm telling you guys, I feel it in my bones. I feel it in my gut. That foreign number is going to be huge. Dark Detective says, I can imagine Iron Man fighting Thanos with an Infinity Gauntlet while the classic Iron Man 1 song plays. Oh, that'd be awesome. Bruce says, I think the con thinks Jeremy popularity will cause a major drop in attendance. I hope it leads to a drop in attendance. Zora says, that's a good movie. Odin watched it in high school. Soulsaz says, John Wick versus Avengers, $1 billion movie right there. Oh my God, I would love to see that happen. Also, John Wick 3, it's not going to be a huge success. And it hurts me so much to say that because it really should be. But John Wick 3, guys. Oh, my God. That's right. John Wick 3 is coming out this year. So freaking excited. Super says, a kind of random question, but I couldn't remember. Did you review A Star is Born and opinions on its Best Picture nomination? Just saw it a couple days ago and really enjoyed it. Yeah, I'm glad it got nominated. It's a great movie. It's a great movie. I really did enjoy it. It's not going to win Best Picture. At this point, I would actually say Roma has the best chance to win Best Picture. I was on the Green Book train for a while because it did win the Producers Guild Award, but Roma has so much freaking momentum, and on top of that, it's got a narrative that is going to be very anti-Trump, and voters are definitely influenced by politics. And so, therefore, I think that that's going to be the case. Star is Born is a great movie. I think that the acting is superb. I think Bradley Cooper deserved the fact that he did not get nominated for Best Director is a crime because his directorial debut was damn near perfect. And it reminds me a lot of Argo. It reminds me a lot of Ben Affleck getting stuff for Argo. But Argo was Ben Affleck's like third film. This is Bradley Cooper's first major film, and it's getting nominated for Best Picture. Like, that's amazing. It's so great. Nico Blue 88, thank you very much again for another super chat. Odin making movies. We're going to make movies great again. You're damn right about that. Anam Barbaedo, welcome to the channel. The Shadow says, so Bree is being paid a quarter of the entire cost of Glass. Yes, pretty much. Yep. Keep this in mind. And I think it was EVS that covered this on his channel. On the first Iron Man movie, Robert Downey Jr. got paid $500,000. The last movie before Marvel, Captain Marvel, as far as like first movies are concerned, for Black Panther, the lead actor in Black Panther that played T'Challa got paid $2 million. And that's after he was featured prominently in Civil War. If he got paid $2 million for Black Panther, after already having been established as a character, and yet Captain Marvel, Brie Larson, is the first time we're seeing her character on screen ever, gets $5 million for her first movie? Oh, yeah. Let's talk about that equality. Let's talk about that male privilege, the pay gap. Well, you're getting paid more than any other male actor for their first film in any Marvel film. So, congratulations on that. Now we actually need true equality, and now we need you to make less so that way everyone else can catch up. Dark Detective says, who do you think will die in Endgame? Captain America. Chris Evans, I think, is done. Just personally, I think he's done with the role. I think he wants to move on to other things. So I think Captain America will be one. There's a chance for Iron Man, though, to be honest, I don't know what Robert Downey Jr. is going to do without Iron Man. He is Tony Stark. He is the living embodiment of Tony Stark. I honestly think there's a good chance he survives. Captain Marvel is the one I would be the most confident to say will likely die. Alexander says, hey, Jeremy just dropped a stream about something. Damn it. Well, that's the reason why people are leaving. Yeah, we've lost like 30 people. Thanks, Jeremy. God. Everyone, go open up his stream and say, hey, you know that Odin streams at this time. How dare you? I'm kidding. I love Jeremy. He can have my viewers. We can share. Super says, also, can I just say how happy it makes me when a teacher tells you to check your online class profile for homework and nothing's there? Booyah! Yeah. I always try and keep up with everything, though, so that doesn't happen for me. As a teacher, I put everything online. My problem more is check it. It's online. It's on, we use a system called Portal, and my guys say, what's that? And I'm like, oh my God, how have you survived? How are you still in school? What's homework? Darth Detective, if you're Odin, that means Kratos is coming for you in the future. Oh, who's my Kratos, though? That's the real question. Bruce, I have seen that lately they have been eating their own. Yes, they have. It does not take much. Hypern says, my only favorite theory for Endgame so far is Captain America having a farewell by going back in time to live his full life with Peggy. For me, that's the best way to end it, and bittersweet. I would love that, Hypern. That would actually be really cool. I would be down for that. Dark Detective says, what do you do besides the YouTube? I am a teacher. I'm a high school teacher. Peabody says, Odin sent you a link on Discord. Everyone, all right, already got that one, Peabody. Peabody, you got to start paying attention, man. I read your comment already. Tina says, about the white male patriarch, blah, blah, blah. Glad you have a good sense of humor. I'm glad that you enjoyed that, Tina. That was for you. Zen says, don't forget that you're also straight and cis, so that's privileged. Oh, my God. Zen, you're so right. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, my Christian brother. Yes, you're right. I am also cis and straight. I'm so sorry, guys. My privilege is just... guys, hold on. I need to check it. No, it's okay. I'm still below 85 beats per second, so my privilege is right on course. I'm still not worried about anything. Bruce says, Odin, you have to check it. You have to check it anally. I need an anal thermometer, please. Per comics, while you're checking your privilege, what is your midichlorian count? Oh my gosh. Oh, well, man, if midichlorians were real, man, that would be amazing. Grandmaster, so what's your real name if Odin is your nickname? I don't reveal my real name on streams. You can find it easily if you Google Odin's Movie Vlog. You'll probably be able to find it pretty quickly. I just don't share it on live streams. It's just a thing. Zol says, Vic Mignogna also played Captain Kirk in the Star Trek Continues web series. Interesting. Uncle Mono, anyone here going to Star Wars Celebration? I'm going. Yes, indeed. Thanks to the huge generosity from Jeremy Geeks and Gamers. He bought me tickets. So I am going to Friday, Saturday, and then I'm leaving Sunday. So I'll be there all day Friday. My plan is to be there all day Friday, all day Saturday. And then I haven't bought my flights yet, so I'll probably leave maybe afternoon on Sunday so that way I can get back in time to teach the next week. But yeah, I'll be at Celebration, but also I plan on doing hangout stuff outside of the event in Chicago itself. And I'm really excited. I'm excited to hang out with Jeremy and a bunch of the other people at Geeks and Gamers, people like EVS, and I think EVS is going, and World Class BSers. It'd be really cool to actually meet those people in person. I still have not met Jeremy in real life. He has passed through my state several times, but he has never stopped to see me. Super says, Vic was the voice of Broly, a character from the movies who they just made a cartoon. Okay, I know who Broly is. He was also the lead in Full Metal Alchemist, and his accuser co-worker starred in FMA with him and plays Bulma. Oh, okay, gotcha. Stevie Trixie says, when it comes to nicknames growing up with friends back in my dueling days, I went by Q, as my decks always had built-in backup plans. Nice, dude. Prepare to duel. Thomas Gilkey, thank you again, man. Thank you, seriously. I really do appreciate that donation from earlier. Souls as says, singing, isn't there a law against cruel and unusual punishment? How dare you. Patrick McDuff, no problem at all, man. Thanks for stopping by. Lethal Lightning, yeah, mate. It's be epic seeing your channel growth. Well, Lethal, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Guys, go sub over to Lethal Lightning too. He's a cool dude. He's a cool bro. He curses a bit. So be ready for a little bit of mouth and a lot of drinking. But he's a cool dude. He is definitely a cool dude. Go check him out. Go give him some support. Dalton Mortimer says, I don't know if this got disappeared in the chat, but since you're Odin, thoughts on American Gods? You should watch it if you haven't. Also, not to shill, but I reviewed on my other channel, The Authenticator. Well, guys, go check out Dalton Mortimer's channel. Go give him some love. Check that out. That's not shilling at all. That's campaigning, and I'm okay with you campaigning, man. You should see my Discord. It is a bunch of people posting their channels and their live streams and everything, and I love it because it's a community and we help each other. Seriously, like it's fine. So guys, Dalton Mortimer, go give him some love. Do not see American Gods though. Never watched it. Haven't read the book either, so no real connection to it. JKD Buck says, open forum, I suggest a topic. Will Star Wars ever be awesome again? If so, what would it take? Kathleen Kennedy being fired, Rian Johnson's trilogy being canceled, Pablo Hidalgo getting his ass kicked out of that story group. In fact, the whole story group just being scrapped altogether. Not Pablo Hidalgo. Oh my gosh, I'm blanking on his name. The creative mind behind Clone Wars, Dave Filoni. Dave Filoni being put in charge of creative, specifically being put in charge of creative, and them hiring, oh gosh, who could be the new president of Lucasfilm? I know a lot of you would probably say George Lucas, but I would actually say, I would actually officially hire him as a consultant. Not a consultant, but officially hire him as like a producer consultant. That would be really cool to have him back in the Star Wars universe. And I'm blanking on anyone who could take over that role. Kevin Feige would be great, but he has way too much going on with the MCU right now. Gannison says, I'm going to watch Alita while Captain Marvel comes. Yes, do it. Do it. Tina says, Larson is still at SJW. Campia is crazy. Odin is behind. You're good. Yeah, I'm so far behind. Suicide Grad says, could Godzilla make $1 billion this year? And that would not surprise me. I looked at that movie and I said, oh, that could make $1 billion. But that's not a surprise to me. I think Godzilla is going to make some pretty good money. Darth Marl says, a few months ago, John Campia compared Miles Morales to Rey about how they harness their powers. Apparently, because Rey is a woman, we scream SJW, but because Miles is a male, no one says anything. That's not true at all. That's not how the Force works. God. He thinks he's smart and that he's clever, but he's just an idiot. Shenphil, let's make a movie ourselves. Geeks and Gamers community, a shill media bashing story. That could be fun. Alex Martinez says, RIPD had such a funny idea and premise that could have worked, especially starring Ryan Reynolds and Jeff Bridges. Their chemistry in that buddy cop movie was good, but the plot with dialogue, guys, so bad. Francisco Mendez says, Odin, you have seen Roma. Boring. Yes, it is so freaking boring. Greta does not agree. Greta loves it. I will say the cinematography is beautiful, is gorgeous. I have no problem with Alfonso Cuarón winning for cinematography, winning for directing. I think he's a great director. He's made some great movies in his day. However, Roma is not one of those great ones, I would say. Super says, SJWs are scary because they will die out, but probably not before it's too late. The horrible stuff in Europe, people like Cortez and Hollywood, it's all related to SJWs and progressives. No, I think that's a very good point. If you look at what Europe's going through right now, we are not that far behind, unfortunately, unless we can get a huge movement going on in this country. Fair point. Bishop PY says, Odin just checked my review of Alita. Is my most watched video on my channel. People want this movie. Guys, go check out the Mr. PY channel and go watch his video to prove the point even more so. No, seriously. People want to go see it. It has a 93% on Rotten Tomatoes from fans. It has an A- from CinemaScore, John Campia, who only takes that score seriously. Okay, it's got an A-, so therefore fans still love it, John Campia. So yeah, I would say you should go see it. It's a great time at the theater. And if you can afford it, or if you have an AMC and you have the AMC A-List thing, which I have, I recommend it. If you have AMC, like going to the movies, AMC A-List is great. I wish I could be sponsored by them, because then I could probably give away free sponsorships and memberships, and that'd be awesome. I'd love to give away free stuff, but you know, c'est la vie. It's still a great system, though. It's a great thing if you go to the movies a lot and if you live near an AMC. If you don't do any of those things, then it's not worth it. But if you have it, what you can do is you can use one of the 3 movies you get every single week on a Dolby movie, and Dolby 3D Alita is just beautiful. Zen Waters says, Armie Hammer is one I've heard the next Batman. Armie Hammer might be okay. He would need the right director. If he doesn't have a good director, then it's not going to work. But if he has the right director, he could pull it off. Angel Butler says, hey, Odin, what's up? Valkyrie, so glad to be back. Angel Butler, so glad to have you back. Peabody says, I actually really liked Jake as the Prince of Persia. Yeah, it wasn't a great movie, but he was great in it. I will say that much. Will Gentry, Odin, who did you say is your favorite actor right now? And I meant, does Odin have to be capitalized? No. It was highlighted both times. ODIN, no matter how it is capitalized or whatever, it'll show up to me. And right now, it's Jake Gyllenhaal. Love me some Jake Gyllenhaal. Tina says, so Zac Efron as Wolverine or Harry Potter as Wolverine? I'm sorry, but the whole idea makes me want to hide under the covers. Hold on. Tina, hear me out. To be fair, Zac Efron has come a long way since his High School Musical days. I really like him. He has a lot of potential. I think... Again, call me crazy. Everyone said it was crazy that Heath Ledger could never be the Joker. Heath Ledger, it would never work. No, Heath Ledger could never do it. The most iconic performance we've ever had, maybe. I don't know if we would get that from Zac Efron, but I do think that Zac Efron I think he could surprise a lot of people. Also, Bjorn, I love the Darth Cuddles shout. Damn right, Darth Cuddles. God, I need to make that shirt. Damn it, I need to make that shirt. Arc Trooper Knox, trying to work, but these coding issues, I see that. ODIN, anytime I see ODIN, it actually pops up, are annoying as hell. See what I did there? I'm so funny, but I'm actually working, and I'm sad about it. God, nah. Zoro says, Odin, mine is Darth Maul. Ever since I seen episode 1 in theaters, love the double-bladed lightsaber. So good. Super says, Jake Gyllenhaal is one of my favorites. Ryan Gosling is killing it right now, too. Yeah, Gosling is also great. 8-Bit Snake Boy says, a string of flops and steady decline in overall comic readership hasn't stopped the SJWs doubling down, so I fear Marvel Studios under Disney will be the same if they go woke. Yeah, yeah. Greta says, you better wear your tuxedo shirt for your award show. Damn right I am. I'm not wearing an actual tuxedo. I have a tuxedo shirt. Alpha Mar, who will co-host the award show with you? As of now, I'm planning to do it solo, though it would be cool to have some guests reveal winners. So it's still in the works. Still in the works. Don't really know exactly how to. All right, and I was waiting for that. The chat finally jumped on me again. All right. Let's see. Where are we at? All right, and it indeed skip chats again, but it looks like we had a bunch of people leave to go watch Jeremy, which is fine. So for those sticking around, I'm getting to all the comments before I end the stream. But if you are still watching the stream, slow it down a little bit so that way I can catch up. Super says, will you let us know on Twitter when Raven votes are about to close? I want to try to vote, but I think I still have too many movies left to watch in order to vote. I will do the very best that I can. Let's see. Soul Assassin says, do you visit Wikipedia, the legend section, not the canon one? It's nothing but lies. No, I didn't know that there was a distinction between the two. I've gone to Wikipedia like when looking up. I'm currently listening through the Thrawn duology, and there are certain characters that I looked up, and that's the only time that the links directed me to Wikipedia. So that's interesting. You said the legend section, not the canon one, is nothing. It's nothing but. So the canon one's nothing but lies. Legend section's good. All right. I think I've only ever gone to the legend section. The Shiato, thank you very much for the $5 super chat. Star Wars original trilogy, George Lucas's vision with constructive input. Prequels, George Lucas's vision with yes men. Sequels, vision. What's that? Thoughts? I think that's a good point. George Lucas vision, constructive input. Yeah, as I said before, I think if George Lucas was the creative mind behind all of the movies and stories, but he had a better screenwriter. He can't write dialogue, guys. I'm sorry. Have a better screenwriter, have a different director. That would be the best Star Wars. Again, him in a creative role, top-notch director, top-notch writer, boom, that would be the best. And I think that your breakdown of the original trilogy being awesome because it had his vision, and also there were other people that had their hands in and therefore had a lot of constructive input, and it was great. Prequels was George Lucas, and he was allowed to do whatever it is that he wanted to do, and we got that, and that was the prequels. And then the sequels, damn right, no vision whatsoever. Absolutely correct. Lee the Lightning says, Odin, I need to go, man. Take care. Much love and have a great day, chat. Lee the Lightning, thank you very much, man. Go support Lee the Lightning. He's a good dude. Super says, Pacific Rim 2 was bad. So bad it had none of Del Toro's style with a wildly uninteresting plot and uninteresting characters. Glad you skipped. Glad that I have no plans of watching it ever. Bjorn says, if Cheese McWoody defeats Thanos in Endgame, I doubt that it'll make $2 billion. Well, if I'm going to take the Russo brothers at their word. They seem to indicate that that is not going to happen. They say that that would be boring, and rightly so. If one person defeats Thanos, that is going to be a boring story. And so I think that they have figured that out, and therefore they are only going to be focusing on a way to bring about a team effort. Captain Marvel, of course, will have to be involved, and how involved she is, and if they decide to kill off Captain America and then Captain Marvel takes over, that might cause problems. But I trust the Russos. The Russos have not given me a bad film in the MCU yet. I trust them. Until they prove me wrong, which they very well could with this one, I trust them. Super says, I think the Black Panther sequel might do worse because of the negative reaction afterwards. I'm guessing it'll make about 750 or 800 million. Here's the thing, though. There is definitely negative reaction to it, I would say, and I think that they will probably play the identity politics game even harder, especially with all of this Oscars nonsense that it went through. But that does not change the fact that there is an audience for that movie in the U.S. that will show up for it over and over again to support it. And because of that, it's going to make bank domestically. Even if it doesn't reach 700 million, it's still going to reach at least 600 million domestically. And because overseas, it's guaranteed to at least make 400 million, most likely. Because let me just break this down. Because even if you go by the fact that usually sequels don't make as much as the first one, or again, it depends. It really depends. Because For example, Guardians 2 made more than Guardians 1, but I think that was because it was a rare chance. But the foreign market for Black Panther 1 made $646.8 million for it. To say that even if we took half of those totals, again, Black Panther's going to make more than $350 million domestically. So I think realistically, $500 to $600 million domestically at least for Black Panther 2. And add on top of that, I think another $400 million at least. You're looking at $900 to $1 billion minimum for that movie. And again, that number can change. Lots of these things are in flux. Nothing is set in stone. All of these things can easily change. So it really does depend. It really does depend. Angel Butler says, hey, Odin just watched Wreck-It Ralph 2 breaks the internet. More like Ralph breaks his balls for nothing. Sorry. No. Angel, I hated it too. I thought Ralph Breaks the Internet had one of the worst stories for young women everywhere. It has the worst story. It says you can say screw you to your friends, screw you to your responsibilities, all so that you can pursue your dreams. If that isn't a feminist propaganda message, I don't know what else is. I hated that movie because of that. Because basically Vanellope leaves behind her game, not knowing what's going to happen to them, how the game can survive without her, but she doesn't care because guess what? She gets to pursue her dreams. And that's what's important. She gets to do what she wants to do. Screw everything else. Screw the rest of the world. It's all about me, me, me. That is a terrible message to send, not just to girls, but to all kids. I hated Wreck-It Ralph 2. God. Not to mention the rest of the movie was just total, utter crap. Celtic Dave says, I think Loki is one of the most manipulative villains since Palpatine. I would agree. Hyperman says, best brudda, wink, wink, Loki or Megatron. Loki. Arc Trooper Knox says, Loki, Captain Marvel, and Nick Fury were all on Skull Island. Kong is our only chance to stop Thanos. That's a good one. Rhaegar Targaryen says, that was not Apocalypse. The real Apocalypse is in the animated series. Oscar Isaac was playing Blue Ivan Ooze. It is so true. He did look so much like Ivan Ooze. I don't blame Oscar Isaac for that, though. I blame the direction. Not going to lie. Because you don't give that performance unless someone allows you to. And so, yeah. Because Oscar Isaac is a great actor, guys. Seriously, there are so many other movies he's been in that can prove that point. But, yeah, Apocalypse sucked. Gannison, Alita can do it. I hope so. I really do hope so. Mortimer says, Odin, I think if they do Doctor Strange sequel correctly, it could make $1 billion since the first one was so bland and an autopilot and was a poor representation and still made $677 million. And there was also some concerns from the left about the whitewashing of the Ancient One or something to that effect, even though I think Tilda Swinton was the perfect casting for that role. It could. I don't see Doctor Strange as being $1 billion property. I just don't. I could be wrong on that, but I just don't. I don't think. Gannison, Odin, even Malaysia, Alita is going full powerhouse. Really? It doesn't surprise me. Again, I think Asia is showing up bonkers for that movie. No question. Patty Dove says, Jeremy started a live stream with the title saying SJWs are calling for violence against him at Star Wars Celebration. What? Well, yeah, that will probably give reason for people to leave and check out his stream. Dude, wow. Yeah, to be honest, I'm actually kind of worried about Celebration. I think there is a good chance, and I want to talk to Jeremy about this. I think there's a very good chance that we get blocked out. I think there's a very good chance that we are not allowed to go into Celebration because of fear of safety. I really do. I would not be surprised by that at all, man. Will Gentry says, no need to read aloud. Well, you put Odin, man, so I'm going to read it. That's how it works. If you don't want me to read it aloud, then don't put my name. To be fair, Tim Pool never mentioned box office figures. He just talked about how he did like the movie, like at all. It was a scathing review, not a box office summary. And again, he's entitled to his opinion. He's entitled to it. It's not a movie meant for everyone. That's why I even said in my review, I love it, and I think most of the people that like me will like it, but I honestly cannot promise you anything because guess what? We all have different thoughts. We all have different emotions. And I respect him for his opinion because he's a good guy otherwise. Mr. Peabody. And also, too, not to mention, guys, the reason why I love Tim Pool is because he may not have liked Alita, but he's already gone on record to say he is not seeing Captain Marvel. So at least he saw Alita. He didn't like it, but at least he saw it and gave it money. He is not even going to see Captain Marvel because of the identity politics behind it. That is quite a statement coming from him. Peabody says, I know you are busy and not always watching. I called you out a couple of times, even had Odin shout you out. Oh, to Frank. Okay, gotcha. Sometimes y'all put Odin when y'all talking to each other. Super says, neat. Sucks, you're probably right. As long as Stars Born wins for sound and original music, I can die happy. I think it'll win for best song. Best music is actually up in the air. Best score, it's still up in the air. Sadly, it's still up in the air. Best song, definitely. I think Shallow is going to win best song. And it's not, I don't think it's nominated for sound editing. It's nominated for sound mixing, and I think it'll probably win there, but I don't think it even got nominated for sound editing. Those sound categories are very odd. Per comment says, if Captain Marvel makes more money than Glass, it will have broken through the glass. Oh, Perth. I love it. Greta says she's getting paid $5 million. That's incredibly excessive. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, and Greta, who is our resident actress here, she is a SAG member, so she would know about these kind of contracts. Yeah, that's ridiculous. $5 million for this movie, and she's already signed on to like a 7-movie deal. Good God. But yeah, for her first movie, $7 million versus Chadwick Boseman, who played T'Challa. He got $2 million for that role in Black Panther, but he had already been featured in another movie. Meaning that if he had not been featured in that movie, he likely only would have been paid like $500,000 to $1 million. Would have probably been paid closer to what Chris Hemsworth or Chris Evans or Robert Downey Jr. got paid. But no, she can't. She got $5 million, a $5 million payday. And then she is the one who's saying, guys, go support these GoFundMe campaigns so that way you can pay these little girls to go see my movie. Like, you're the one with $5 million. God, get over yourself, Brie. Lord. Rogue Baron says, so I crunched some numbers, and it looks like Alita needs to make $400 to $500 million to be profitable. $430 million exactly. Someone corrected my math and said it needed to be closer to $700 million. What do you think? It's not $700 million. Whoever said $700 million does not know what they're talking about. Once again, and I'll do this. We'll do it. F it. We'll do it live. We'll do it live. Stupid thing sucks. Love that reference. But anyway, let's do this live. So, the production budget was $170 million. Okay, $170 million. Marketing would therefore need to account for half of that amount. So if you pull out, because I can't do math in my head, if I pull out my handy dandy calculator, 170 divided by 2 is 85, meaning 85 million plus 170 million, 255. All right, so 255 million. That is how much this movie cost to make and to promote. All right, therefore, based on my calculations, so again, 255 million. That's the break-even number. It needs to make that money back before it can start making any type of profit. If you take $430 million and then multiply that by 0.6, meaning 60% of $400 million, that's how much it would receive. You get a $258 million total, meaning that if it makes $430 million, it breaks even and begins to make profit. Hopefully that made sense. I know numbers and math is everyone's favorite thing, but you can tell that person, do the math again, go to the actual numbers that have been released, go by all industry standards, and that's what you'll get. They're going to try and play the game saying, oh, well, it only makes 30% in this country and 20% in this country. Yes, but it also makes 90% in this country or 80% in this country. That's why the overall average is 60%. It might be bigger or smaller, but on average, 60% is what the studios actually get out of all of their deals. And so if you take that number as it is, 430 million is actually the more accurate number. Is it exact? No. Nothing's ever an exact science. But based on what we know and based off of industry standards, it is the most likely number. Francisco says, what do you think about Villeneuve? Dune? Cannot freaking wait. Villeneuve is an amazing director. He did wonders with Blade Runner. I'm so sad that movie lost money because no one saw it. It was so freaking good, man. It's a Trap Production says, I'm still here, my lord. Oh, I know who the true Asgardians are. Damn right, man. Thank you guys for sticking around. And again, if you really do want to check it out, because that's crazy. I'm really sad to hear that someone is threatening violence against Jeremy. That's ridiculous, man. But thank you for sticking around. James Clark is also here. I'm still here, my lord. Somebody says, Jeremy is saying that people are calling for violence towards him at Star Wars Celebration. God, that's crazy. That's insane. G-Monkey, don't worry, Odin, I'm not going anywhere. Thanks, G-Monkey. I feel like I'm in that. I feel like I'm in Three Amigos. I'm still here, guapo. Oh, the Odin privilege, says Frank. P by Odin, yes, try to delete the other comment, but can't tell when your chat skipped. It's okay, man. It's okay. Alpha Mar says, did you say you were a teacher? Yes. Do some of your students watch your YouTube channel, or am I becoming crazy? No, they do. They watch. Sometimes they jump in on the streams. They don't jump in at the very beginning of the year when they just found out about it. They were jumping in constantly and causing chaos. Nowadays, like every now and then, they'll jump in and they maybe will say a comment. Sometimes they'll just not. But a lot of them are subbed to the channel as well, funnily enough. And speaking of which, how are things going right now? Holy crap. Y'all are freaking animals. Yeah, we're at 10,881 subs right now. God, man. I love you. Y'all guys are so crazy, and I love you for it. Brad Noble, quit manspreading at us, Odin. I'm not manspreading. I might be mansplaining, which I will do all day long because screw you and your feelings. Facts don't care about your feelings. But manspreading, no. I would never manspread for you guys. Frank, Odin has no soy level. He is soyless. I hate soy, too. Like, actual soy product. Unless it's soy sauce, but I don't really count that because it's essentially salt. Frank says, Odin is his real name. Odin. Scorpio says, real name is Thor. Odin is a clue. Peabody, Odin's real name is the Allfather. Frank says, we're going to have supper with Odin in Chicago. Damn right, Frank. Damn right. I hope I get to meet Frank, actually. Steph says, Odin's Movie Blog, Odin's Movie Blog. Dude, Steph, stop spamming at me, girl. Chris says, Jeremy Gets Gamers said SJWs are calling for violence against him at Star Wars Celebration. All right, I've heard that now. Darth Morrow says, my SJW teacher prefers Star Trek to Star Wars because it's more inclusive. Oh, my God. Seriously? Again, I respect anyone. My wife loves Star Trek, and I respect that. You can like Star Trek more than Star Wars, but if your reasoning is it's more inclusive, no. Shut your mouth. Tell your teacher, next time your teacher talks, tell her to shut her mouth. I'm kidding. Don't say that. Because then I'll get in trouble. And Frank says EVS is going. Awesome. To Star Wars Celebration. Arc Trooper Knox. I don't share my name because according to the U.S. Census Department, in the only one in America with my name, and Odin knows it. Oh, interesting. Jeremy fears Odin, says Frank. Damn right, man. Somebody says they are calling for violence towards geeks and gamers at Celebration. Damn. Well, I'll have to be extra careful then. However, I will say if they try to mess with a 240-pound Norse god with a giant beard, who also happens to have a secondary black belt in karate. I know I got it a long time ago when I was younger, but I still have it technically. They'll find themselves very sadly mistaken. Modern Dude Thing, what's going on, bruv? Hey, sorry, Odin, for being late to all your recent streams. No problem, dude. I blame YouTube more than anything else. Gannison, Odin, geeks and gamers are in trouble. Yeah, dude, this is crazy. I'll have to watch it later. I'll have to check up actually with Jeremy to see if we're gonna do anything, because that's the kind of stuff that gets people like, hey, we don't want you here. If violence is being called against you, we don't want you here. That could be really, really bad. G-Monkey, I'm going Thursday only in Chicago. Is my hometown. Happy to give food advice. Oh, well, G-Monkey, thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm going to be working Thursday. My plan is to leave on a plane. Thursday evening, be there all day Friday, all day Saturday, and then leave some point on Sunday. That's my current plan, but I still need to look at ticket prices. Mal Peril says, no dinosaurs allowed. Gosh. Super says, random, but I also saw The Shape of Water for the first time not too long ago. I love the first half so much. Why on earth did it have to be that kind of a romance? I hated that movie. Yeah, there's a lot of things to be said about it. All I can say is fish sex. She screwed a fish. And I think my favorite discussion on that topic was when we had the Common Sense crew and Anna was trying to defend it. And the whole time I'm just trolling her like, dude, no, she had sex with a fish. Get over it. It's bad. Slade Wilson. Dude, Slade Wilson is in the chat. Hey, Odin, what was that awards thing you were talking about? Dude, Slade, it's called the Wednesday Raven Awards. My Valkyrie will be posting a link to it. And yeah, all the nominations were voted on by you guys. And so, therefore, all of the winners will be decided by you guys as well. And currently, let's see if we've gotten any other entries since this stream started. Nope, we're still at 167, and you still have a couple days in order to fill it out. I'll post it again on the community section for YouTube, and also on Discord as well. Krista says, Odin, I read that Disney Marvel R-rated movies and series will be going to Hulu now that they own it. The regular Disney movies, etc., will be on their Disney Plus services. Thoughts? I didn't read that. So I'll have to check into that. That would make sense. That would make total sense to me. They're about to, when they eventually own Fox, when that deal goes through, they will own a vast majority of Hulu. At that point, they'll have 60% of the stakes in Hulu. So that would make a lot of sense for them to move adult content there. Might actually make me want to buy a Hulu account. Maybe not a Disney Plus account, but maybe a Hulu account. Scorpio says, what did you think of Mortal Engines out of curiosity? I refuse to see it because it just looked bad. The trailers look terrible. I heard no good things about it, and so I never saw it. Super Roma is gorgeous, and the film is loaded with all this fantastic symbolism, but it's packaged in a film with such a uninteresting plot. Cuarón prioritized wrong, in my opinion. He made a film about nothing, and that was the point. But he also made it beautiful, and so some people are trying to use that as an excuse to defend it, and I'm like, no, and you need more than that. Suicide Grunts. Could Godzilla make close to $1 billion? Yes. Yes. I didn't mention Godzilla because that would not surprise me. I expect Godzilla to make $1 billion worldwide. Rogue Baron says, thanks for the retweets of Enigma Channel's reviews of Alita. Great review and sub to the channel. Also found The Amazing Lucas, which is also an awesome channel. Cool. Yeah, I liked the review for Enigma. He had some really good stuff there. Ooh, that was a Greta line. I'm still so far behind. Guys, slow down. Please slow down. I'm getting tired, guys, but I'm determined to finish this. I'm determined to finish this. Oh my gosh. Anyway, Greta says, I think Zac Efron is a good actor. He looks great in the Ted Bundy movie. And then he's getting criticized for it. It's like, for playing the character like he should. Tina says, I never saw High School Musical. I did. Oh, I saw that baby live. I saw it when it was first released, and I fell in love because I was a High School Musical theater guy. So I was like, man, I wish we could break out in a song and dance at school. Just kidding. And rest in peace, Heath Ledger. Could do anything. I loved him since A Knight's Tale. Oh, A Knight's Tale. A Knight's Tale might be one of the most underrated films of all time. I love that movie too. Rogue Baron says, also just saw Mad Max Fury Road. Wowzers. Oh, I love Fury Road. So good. Viper is 69, but then Heath Ledger did go to Jack Nicholson and possibly Mark Hamill when he got the role to learn how to play the Joker. Well, who's to say that you wouldn't have something similar happen for Wolverine? Who's to say that Zac Efron wouldn't say, hey, Hugh Jackman, please give me advice? Slade Wilson, what were the award things show you're talking about? All right, just talked about that. Peabody, Odin, the guest presenters are River and Willow. Yes, that'd be a good one. Mountain Dew thing, I will stay here till the end. Well, thank you for your support. Scorpio says, what do you think of Mortal Engines? Didn't see it. It's 8:07 p.m. It's 8:28 where I am. God. Dion, counting my sips. Super, do you know approximately when you'll be streaming on Sunday? Want to make sure I can make it. Around 6 to 6:30 is my potential start time. The Oscars start around 7, so I'll start between 6 and 6:30, and then we'll start doing awards as it goes live. Also, I will be doing updates on what is winning the major awards categories, just because why not? I am a movie channel after all. I'm going to report on it at the very least. Alpha Mar says, I'd rather prefer it to if it was Michael Bay that directed Star Wars Episode 8 than Rian Johnson. I guess. Yeah, I guess. See, I don't think, here's the thing. I think I would rather Michael Bay write the movie. Because Rian Johnson as a director isn't inherently evil. He's not completely bad as a director. As a director and writer, he's got some issues. Especially as a writer. And he even admits he's a terrible writer. But as a director, he's not, again, it was a competent film. As far as like, if you were to strip away all plot and just look at the film visually speaking, it was a competently cut together film. So he obviously has some sense as to how to direct a movie. However, not so much the writing, and the writing is what sunk that movie the most. Gabriel says, speaking of Heath Ledger, a conspiracy theory is that the Joker, his character, killed him while leaving a suicide note. Even Eminem made a line about him saying evil twin song. Well, yeah, that's a conspiracy theory. I can tell you for a fact he died from an accidental overdose. I know this for a fact because I actually did a report on him in college. I did a report on him in college. It was a star study because I did a class on stardom, and it was very fascinating to find out about the star culture that has existed since the very beginning of the film industry. And our big project was to choose our favorite actor or our favorite star and write a report on their life and describe stardom in their life. And so I chose Heath Ledger. And so I was able to read several books, and a lot of people blame The Dark Knight for his death, but that's just not true. He was using sleeping pills for years because he was a method actor. His way of acting caused his brain to never be able to shut off, and so he needed sleeping pills very early in his career to be able just to fall asleep. And as you know, the more that you rely on something, the harder it becomes to break, and then over time you begin to use more and more of it. You use other things, other problems come up, and then eventually problems can arise, and that's how you had the accidental overdose. So yeah. Definitely don't buy into that conspiracy theory. Modern Dude Thing, why do you hate Revenge of the Sith? It's my favorite movie ever. I don't hate Revenge of the Sith. I never said I hate it. It's my favorite of the prequels. No question in my mind. It's my favorite of the sequels, of the prequel trilogy. I'm just not a huge fan of the prequels in general. The writing is terrible. Like, the dialogue is terrible. I think that is a verifiable fact. Annie, you're breaking my heart. I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating. And it gets everywhere. Odin is going to Celebration unless plans have changed because of threats. That might change things. Rogue Baron, how far back is Odin? God, so far back. And y'all keep asking questions. Stop asking questions. Let me catch up. Neil Coolin says, "Hail Lord Odin." Hello, Neil Coolin. It's been so long since I've seen you, my friend. Pete972, what's going on, bruv? He says, have you ever seen the Stargate movie? It's flawed, but it's a billion times better than Soy Wars or STD. Never seen Stargate. Gabriel says, in response to Doctor Strange's first film's whitewashing, it's a Chinese government mandate towards Holly Weird because of the Himalayas territories debacle. Ah, that makes sense. Mono Dude Thing says, how are you doing? I'm surviving. Somehow. Will Gentry, Odin, I think there is at least a good chance of Jeremy getting punched, and I put your name in the last one so you saw it, but it wasn't important enough to be read aloud like that last sentence. Thanks, Will. Appreciate you, bud. Greta says, that means they can't pay her less for the rest of those movies. Nope. That means the money can only go up from here. Unless this movie loses money, which is going to be very hard, because as I said, as much as I want this movie to fail, there are too many casual MCU fans who are not going to know anything about any of this, who are just going to go to it because it's an MCU film. And I think there's enough of them, and also just the crazy SJW crowd that are going to be like, yeah, we actually will go support her, that it's going to be able to at least break even. That movie, it needs to make $400 million. So just as a reference, that needs to make $400 million to break even. Alita needs to make $430 million because it costs just that much more as far as the overall budget's concerned. And you can tell because every single dollar of the budget is spent on that screen in Alita, and it's beautiful and gorgeous, but yeah, it's crazy. Super says, who do you think is going to win lead actor at the Oscars? Sorry if you've already been asked this, but I just looked it up. The category is actually legit. Good job, Academy. I'm never going to give the Academy any credit whatsoever. Let me see. I forgot who in the world is even, let's see. All of the prognosticators are saying Rami Malek has the best chance. I think that he's a good chance. I personally think it should be Viggo, but Viggo got screwed over because of just stupid fake racism comments. I'm still going Christian Bale. I think they want Christian Bale to make a political statement at the Oscars, and so that's why they'll go with him. That's just my own thought on it. Could be wrong, but also I don't care about the Oscars. Ariak says they are calling for violence against anyone tied to Geeks and Gamers, so Odin could get punched too. As I said, if they try to punch me in the face, I will defend myself, and then I will call the cops, and I will press charges. So they can try. Wished Upon a Vlog says, have you seen Angry Joe's review? No. Apis Day Boy says, the threat of violence of Star Wars Celebration might in itself be used as an excuse by the organizers to ban all the High Council members. No. Apit, I think that's exactly what's going on. I think that once this news becomes... I think it might actually be a mistake for Jeremy to be talking about this right now, because if it brings more attention to him, and if it brings more attention to this issue, there's a very good chance that they could say, hey, we don't want you coming. Here's a refund for your tickets. I could see them doing that. Also, Viper69, welcome to the channel. And Zebulon Pike, thank you for the $2 super chat. The Last Jedi visually looked like a PS4 game. Prove me wrong. That's just like your opinion, dude. No, I'm sorry. I'm not going to attack the visual artist that worked on that film. I will go after Rian Johnson all day, every day, because he sucks. He's an asshat. He's gone after the fans, and he's been a total tool. I will go after him all day long, but I will not go after the hard-working men and women that worked behind the scenes on that film, especially the visual artists. I will not go after them. I'm sorry. I can't. I'm not going to go after them. It would be like me going after the stunt team on a movie. I'm not going to do it. Scott Gavin says, one thing that really annoys me is when rich celebrities try to cajole me into supporting some charity or other when they would easily finance the whole thing themselves. So agree. Will Gentry says, oh, you can't punch Odin. The Allfather is way too powerful for a mere mortal to be able to land a blow on him. And if they do, I'll just be like, Suicide Grunts is still here. Great. Super Anna Gamer says, also, how in God's name is Adam McKay nominated for Best Director for Vice? Okay, I'm done complaining about the Oscars. Because of politics. That's why. Yeah. Bradley Cooper didn't get nominated, but yeah, he got nominated. The director for Green Book didn't get nominated, but yeah. God. Green Book is getting screwed. Green Book is one of the best movies of the year. It was my third favorite film of 2018, and it's getting totally screwed. Gannison is still here as well. Gannison, you're the man. Gannison is new to this channel, but he has just been so active the last few streams, so huge shout out to Gannison, man. Thank you for being a part of this community, and thank you again for pushing me to go see Alita, man. I'm so proud. I'm so happy that I got to see it. Rogue Baron says, we here for you even if you are 20 minutes behind the chat. God. Yep, still 65 of you here. I appreciate you. Mr. Peabody says, you can't get rid of me, you poor bugger. Yeah, I know that. Peabody, I know that. There's certain people I know that I can never get rid of. But you know what? I'm okay with that. I'm okay with you being that. Wish upon a vlog. Since I saw your comments, just remember put Odin somewhere in your comment, and then I will actually see it. This was because it was above a comment that did put Odin. I teach theology. So I'm a Catholic school teacher, and I teach theology, sophomores and juniors. PB, I have been listening the whole time, just been cleaning up dog vomit. Super fun. Well, I'm glad to hear that I'm what you're listening to when you clean up dog vomit. Thanks, man. PB, you're the best. I appreciate you. Super. Stop asking questions. I'm trying to end this stream. I'm 36 minutes over what I wanted to do. I try and keep this always like an hour 30 minutes. I'm still 20 minutes behind, and you keep on asking questions. I'm kidding. You need it if you want to keep asking questions, man. Keep asking questions, but slow down, please. Oh, I'm getting so tired. Super says, people are calling for violence at Star Wars Celebration. Dude, it's Star Wars. Take a chill pill. Seriously. Frank says, yes, we are filthy animals. Damn right you are, Frank. Damn right. 70B says, they want to ban Geeks and Gamers from Star Wars Celebration altogether. Wait. Oh, okay, gotcha. Man, I can't wait to talk to Jeremy about this later. Modern New Thing, keep fighting the good fight. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Christian Joe says, with all this money breakdown details, could you explain how it worked with Infinity War releasing on the same day week? Was it beneficial Marvel released it worldwide for spoiler purposes? It was beneficial for spoiler purposes, but also it's a good idea to do that because, well, it's not always a guaranteed thing, because keep this in mind. Aquaman, which made over $1 billion at the box office, released in China 2 weeks early, and it turned out well for them. So there are definitely times when spacing out when and where you release can be beneficial to your movie. I think Aquaman's a great example of a movie that could do that. But when it's a bigger movie like an MCU film, releasing on the same day is great because you avoid the spoiler territory, but also you're able to build up the hype and you're only having to focus on one day instead of several days. And then also, too, you get to know very early on how much money you're actually going to make after your first and second weekend. So that's what I would say about that. That's a good question, though. Super says, also, I know this is super random. But because I know it's open forum and it's kind of fun to watch you rant, what are your thoughts on the Green New Deal? I'm done blowing up your chat. Thank you, Super. I appreciate that. The Green New Deal is one of the dumbest pieces of legislation that's ever been put out there. Yes, I know it's only recommendations. There's no actual plan in there, but that's another reason why it's absolutely stupid. It's also hilarious to me that every single Democratic nominee signed on to it before they actually read the damn thing. The damn thing got released. They claim that, you know, it got such a bad reaction that they had to take it offline and then make up this lie saying, oh, that was a draft, that wasn't the actual version, never actually putting up the real version. And then when you actually still read the real version of the bill, you realize, no, it's still just as crazy and just as stupid as it was before. That's my rant. Hybrid says, I don't know if you'll get this joke or if you'll feel disgusted, but behind the screen, are you wearing pants? reference to Jeremy John's pants joke. I understand the Jeremy John's pants joke. Yes, I wear pants. 70B says, sorry for the spam. I just was trying to get your attention. Thanks, Steph. Appreciate it. Rogue Baron says, should we use Odin in our regular chat conversation to confuse Odin when he finally reads this? Oh my god, Rogue Baron! Nico Blue says, Odin smash! 240 pounds? I don't know what that would be. So what do y'all guys use? Y'all use the metric system, right? So 240 pounds to, what do y'all use? Kilograms? That would be 108.8 kilograms. And because I love this expression, or 17.1 stone for all of my UK brethren out there. So you tell me. I'm 6 feet tall, 240 pounds, so I'm not a small dude. I know that much. JKD says, you're a martial artist? Good. Oh my god, I mentioned that so long ago. JKD is Jeet Kune Do. JKD, dude, okay, nice. So I did Taekwondo. Of course, it's Americanized Taekwondo, so I'm never going to claim to be some kind of major martial artist. But I did take it for several years, and I did get to a second-degree black belt. So that is true. Hybrid says, they'll make a movie about fishes but not furries. Why? Just you wait, man. Dude, that one's right around the corner. All right, the chat jumped on me again. How far behind am I? Oh, wait, I'm catching up. Oh, thank you, guys. So, guys, thank you for slowing down. Oh, my gosh. Rogue Baron says, might have jumped over this. I got to watch Mad Max Fury Road yesterday. Wowzers. I saw that one. Such a great movie. Peabody says, you should have no problem at Star Wars Celebration. You have an Aussie Res Tiga and a Voltan. You would, who would even try and stop you? No, seriously. If anyone came up to me, I would just be like, dive! Or Gordon's alive! Honestly, I think I would try and act crazy to make them afraid of me. I was like, you want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. Name that movie. Great movie, by the way. Zebulon Pike, thank you for the $5 super chat. The Force Awakens used many practical effects and looked great. The Last Jedi seemed all CGI, minimum practical. No disrespect to the developers. Here's a tip for Alita tip. Well, thank you, Zebulon, for that tip. I appreciate it. Again, Alita was great. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. I understand where you're coming from, and thank you for clarifying, too. I agree. I would always say it's better to use practical effects over visual effects, because if you can get that right balance, it's going to look perfect. I can agree with you there. But I will say the developers and the ones who worked on the CGI for The Last Jedi did a very good job. For the most part. The biggest exception, without any shadow of a doubt, is Canto Bight and the damn animals that are freed. That entire sequence of them riding those animals is some of the worst CGI I've ever seen in my life. When it comes to the bigger elements, though, space, even the terrible hyperspace ram that story-wise sucks and makes no sense and breaks Star Wars canon, it still looks beautiful. From an artistic standpoint, it still looks beautiful. So I definitely agree with you, though, to an extent. Modern New Thing, what do you think about Soilo? Soilo was not as bad as The Last Jedi, but it was also completely unnecessary. The whole time I was watching that movie, I was like, God, why? Why would you do that? Why? Oh, you don't have a name? Well, then you will be called Han Solo? So stupid. Brad Noble, Odin studied under Master Splinter in the sewer. I sure look like I did. That's for damn sure. Brad Noble says, fact, Odin is the 5th turtle. Rhaegar Targaryen says, I don't even remember hearing about Roma coming out. It's on Netflix still, so that's probably why. ArcTrooper, tired, don't be noting... ArcTrooper! Damn you! Damn you, Salazar! Super, you said that you're done, but then you keep on talking. Opinions on more and more established filmmakers producing films for streaming platforms and people in Hollywood like Steven Spielberg discouraging it. I am perfectly fine with streaming platforms getting exclusive content because as long as it's a good movie, that's all that matters to me. Intertrap Production says, I'm so here for the Odin Awards. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Super. Okay, cool. I might have to steal my cousin's Wi-Fi, but I can make it Sunday. Perfect. Scorpio says, thoughts on any of Neil Blomkamp's movies? He's my personal favorite modern director. My favorite modern director would be Denis Villeneuve. He's not made a bad movie yet. He is the one making Dune right now. Yes. So the 3 main movies that he's made, District 9 is amazing. District 9 is a masterpiece. Phenomenal. It's amazing to see what them trying to make Halo into a movie and then not panning out and then doing something completely different is awesome. So District 9 is fantastic. Elysium, not a fan. Chappie, much better than Elysium. However, the name of the movie is wrong. The name of Chappie should be the D. Antwood story. If it was the D. Antwood story, it would be the perfect movie because it would fit that name perfectly. But otherwise, I'm just like, all right, D. Antwood is all over the place in this movie. And I quote Chappie a lot, though. I love the line, I am alive. I am Chappie. Modern Dude thing. How thick is Thick Silver? I don't know. Is a Trap says, wait, Zack Snyder or Michael Bay for directing Last Jedi from the same script about Rian Johnson wrote? Which version wins? Neither wins because Rian Johnson still writes it. For director though, I guess Bay. I guess I'd go Bay. Alexander, Ryan has no Johnson. Pete says, what is this sign there? What are your favorite Michael Bay films? I don't really have any. The first Transformers film was okay. The Island. Boom. That's the answer. The Island. The Island is my favorite Michael Bay film. I've never seen The Rock. I hear it's amazing, but I've never seen it. Alpha Mar says, I just voted in your survey. Thanks, Alpha Mar. Appreciate it. Greta says, Star Culture sounds really cool. Maybe I'll do a video on that at some point. Yeah, Star Culture is very, very interesting, especially the way things were done back in the studio era. Gannison, great info on Heath Ledger, Odin. Thank you. Appreciate it. Soulsad says, who should play Thrawn in a live-action movie? Maybe Fassbender. Yes. That is the correct one. A class on Stardom, says Super. Don't know if I'll ever get to take a class like that, so it is just as toxic and taxing as I think. How real are the corporate overlords? No, I loved it. I thought Stardom was absolutely great. It was a great class. But yeah, the studio system of the 1930s and 40s, oh man, it is awful. Modern Dude thing, I think everyone can say the best prequel movie is Episode 3. Yes, absolutely correct. Viber69 says, the Stargate's SGI series is largely better than the 90s Stargate movie. It also follows on from the movie. All right, very cool. Mr. PY says, Stargate, the movie, broke records for the amount of extras of the movie. It's pretty good. Okay. Greta says, Rami Malek is going to win. He won Golden Globes and SAG. Oh, wait, that's right. I forgot he won SAG. Which one did Vice win? Oh, wait, that's right. That's right. He won the Golden Globes, which... No, oh, wait. Okay, I forgot he won SAG. Thank you, Greta. I forgot that Rami Malek won SAG. Knowing that he won SAG, yes, Rami Malek is going to win. Thank you. I forgot that he won SAG. All right, so since I know that now, I changed my mind. I changed my vote. Rami Malek is going to win 90%. SD1V8 driver, welcome to the channel. And oh, this troll, Butts and Weenies, welcome to the channel. Alexander says, Jeremy is asking them to ban him so he can get attention and grow even stronger. Dude, yeah. He don't play no games. Super says, regardless of what happens at Celebration, stay safe, All-Star. Of course I will, man. My wife would not allow me to do anything else than to be safe. Soulzad says, what would your wrestling move be called? The All-Father Smash? No. It'd be called the Bifrost. Let's just be honest here. He hits him with the Bifrost. Blah. Bifrost Smash. Pete972 says, I agree, Odin, Last Jedi had good visuals, but it's still mostly hated movie ever. Yes. Superman Gamer, I think 8th grade got way screwed over too, not just by the Academy, but by everyone. 8th grade was good, but it was not the best thing since sliced bread. It was good, but it was also overrated. Again, it was a good movie. Not the best thing to come out last year. Zebulon Pike, I call him like I see him. I respect your opinion, man. I respect you, man. I respect you, Zebulon, and I appreciate your opinion. God, rogue. Will Broden get his attention? I wonder how the highlight works. If it does, I'm going to have fun getting Odin in a word in it. Alpha Mars says, for an old man, you look rather youngish. Well, thank you. I'm an old man? Is that what I am to you? Am I an old man? Did the chat just jump on me again? Seriously? Slow down. Guys. Why are y'all still... No. I thought I was close to the end. I am eventually... Guys, I'm not going past 9. So you might want to slow down if you want me to answer all your questions. So, Alexander says Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is the most brain-headed politician ever. Yep, and she's the new face of the Democratic Party, and AOC is going to be the ruin of the Democratic Party. It's hilarious. Arc Trooper says, Odin, what movie game do you think has the best marketing campaign? If you mean most effective, I would probably say recently, The Grinch. Do you realize that The Grinch was in the top 3 movies for like months? It seems. The Grinch was actually a very profitable film, and it bothered me so much. That film made $508 million worldwide. The Grinch. And that campaign started like months before and continued months after. So I would say The Grinch probably had the most effective marketing campaign. As far as favorite marketing campaign, Deadpool. Deadpool 2, the correct answer is Deadpool 2, the Bob Ross trailer. No, that's the answer. Brad Noble says Odin is 200 without the beard. Will Gentry says, yeah, 17.1 stone is what we'd say here. All right, got you, Will. Hyra says, Odin is a big guy for you. Frank says, don't worry, Odin. I to Frank will keep you safe in Chicago. Thank you, Frank. Luke Skywalker Baby says, looking forward to meeting you in all the Phantom Menace celebration. Same here, brother. Same here, brother. Cookies. Israel Production says that line came from Batman. Lord, you are right. You are correct, sir. You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. That's what we need. We get a Michael Keaton Batman Beyond with him as old man Bruce Wayne. That's what we need. Pete says, you referenced Batman 89. Awesome movie. Thank you for appreciating it and for getting that. Bjorn says, SJW's moodiness will have them imploding. You're so funny. G-Monkey is a lethal weapon and it won't work. We're all crazy in Chicago. Mr. B.I. says, Odin, you want to get nuts, Batman? Yep. You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. Alpha Mar says, if you could choose between Tommy Wiseau and Michael Bay to direct Star Wars Episode 8, which would you choose? Tommy Wiseau, hands down, because at the very least, it would be freaking entertaining and hilarious. Because also, he would put himself in it as the star. Could you imagine if Episode 8 starred Tommy Wiseau instead of Rey? Oh my God, that's how you fix Episode 8, guys. Let's retcon it, and let's copy and paste in Tommy Wiseau reading off random lines. Nico Blue 88, thank you for the $2. I'm just gonna say $2 super chat. Your reaction on Mary Poppins and a Star Wars movie. Oh, that Mary Poppins moment was cringeworthy. God, so bad. Perth says, was Canto Bite CGI as bad as the one floating scene in Labyrinth? Worse, because also Labyrinth, for its time, was not bad. Viper USA says, the only way I can think of that hyperspace ram bit working is if the ship didn't have enough fuel to enter hyperspace and broke up trying to enter hyperspace. It still wouldn't work because they've never done that before in any, like, ever. Even in the non-canon EU, hyperspace ramming is not a thing. It doesn't work that way. Like, that's the problem with it. That's the reason why it breaks canon. Modern Dude Thing says, what do you think about the L3 in Solo? I clapped and cheered when she got blown up. Peabody says, we need to slow the chat down so Odin can catch up. Oh, thank you. Thank God. Oh, is it finally coming? Is it am I finally almost to the end? Pete says, honestly, I can't stand Chappie. Give me Short Circuit any day. District 9 is awesome and Elysium was okay. Yeah, I mean, again, if it was D. Antwood, if it was the D. Antwood story, if it was Chappie, D. Antwood story, it would be perfect. But I agree. Short Circuit is better. However, Chappie is at least funny. It's at least funny. Johnny 5 is alive. Archer Vernock says, my favorite thing about the prequels is that we got the Clone Wars miniseries. That is a true statement. Odin can't deny the awesomeness of the series. No, I cannot. P.S. Arcs versus Grievous is my favorite Star Wars sequence. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Yes, because of the prequels, we got Clone Wars, and Clone Wars is a gift from God. Yes. So says, Odin, you made this far. Keep going. So close to the end. And then y'all keep talking. Rogue Baron. Oh, my God. Rogue Baron, you're my new nemesis here. He says, Hargen Nubleed Odin Brugando Poblium Bolden thing. Brad Noble said, boy, if Odin is old, I'm just dust in the wind. You are. Dust in the wind. All we are is dust in the wind. Alvamar says, I'm kidding. You're not that old. I'm just like to mock people older than me. I'm still hurt. Super says, any suggestions offhand for books or related stuff to learn about the old studio system and stardom? Greta will be able to help you out with that question because it's been a while since I've read up on it myself. Archer Bernock says, if you haven't seen it, don't remember it. Odin, look up the Believe campaign for Halo 3. Phenomenal. Still gets the chills. Cool. Mr. PY says, we need to do a fundraiser to get Odin an Akubra hat. What's an Akubra hat? Is that some fancy Australian thing? Mr. PY says, I need an Aussie hat. All right, so it's one of those crazy Aussie hats. Gannison says, Odin, you have a nice voice. Thank you. I appreciate that. Alphamar says, just sang. He's sang. 'Tis a miraculous day indeed. Mountain Dew thanks. Keep going. You'll get to the end. Matthew Gaudet says, do you like Rebels even though Star Wars? Yes, I love Rebels. I think Rebels is actually a very great show. I'm actually in season 4. It's definitely the weakest season so far, I would say, but I do like Rebels. Boom. All right, I made it. So let me go ahead and give a huge shout out to all of my patrons. So sorry I did not shout you out in the very beginning, but the chat got crazy right away, but I'm still going to shout you out nonetheless because you're awesome. So a huge shout out to my patrons: A Great Jedi, Adam Shawhan, Dave Bob, Delete System 32, Edward Coleman, Enrique Evangelista, Frank the Tank and the Shawhan Wiener Dog Clan, Greta Zenner, Harold Francis, The Hunky Chunky, Funky Monkey, Inflamed Wood, It's a Trap Productions, Jason Clark, Jeffrey Toon, Jonathan, Laura Story, Matthew Kadish, Mr. Peabody and his evil twin, Outpost Dyer, Perpetual Punster, Pro Josh Sarif, Proper Jeremy, Shenglong, Sir Lanceletto, The DJD Show, Those Two Ball Guys, Tina B, and Wolfgang Lounge. You are all amazing and beautiful people. Guys, just so you know, tomorrow we'll be having 2 streams. That's right, count them, 2 streams. So at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, me, Laura, Ryan Stole My Fan Fiction Story, and Outpost Dyer, Mr. Kyle himself, are going to be doing a stream because they are my $25 and up backers, my $25 and up backers for this month. And so therefore they are going to be on an exclusive Patreon only stream. So it'll be me and them, and they will be bringing their own questions, their own topics to discuss, and we'll try and interact with the chat. But they're going to be on because they are, again, $25 and up backers. If you yourself want to be featured once a month on an episode, if you yourself want to be featured once a month on a live stream on this channel, go over to Patreon and become a $25 and up backer. And then March 1st, when the next month is charged, if you indeed have that for that month, then you will be included in that group discussion so that we can all get together and can decide on the same day at the same time to be able to get a stream together. So yeah, that will be tomorrow from 5 to around 6:30, and then from 6:30 on, it'll be the one-man low council, and that'll go until right before 8 p.m., so that way everyone can go support the high council. And after the news that apparently just broke on the Geeks and Gamers channel that violence is being threatened against Geeks and Gamers, it's going to be a lot to talk about. Anyway, guys, you are all amazing people. Yeah, seriously, the Medium Council. Whew. Man. Guys, seriously, you're all amazing. I've been loving this chat. You guys are awesome. I'm glad that y'all were able to come for this open forum. I'm glad that y'all came with your questions. You came with energy and excitement. And thank you once again for all your support, for all the people that donated tonight, for all the people that subscribed tonight. Thank you. Seriously, you guys are awesome. You are what give me life. You are what sustain me. You are what able to, you're the ones that are able to make 2.5 hours feel like nothing, except for my voice, because my voice just feels everything. But guys, you're awesome. Please, if you have not dropped the like yet, please smash that like button. And if you have not subscribed yet and you're watching, what you waiting for? Subscribe. It's awesome. So again, tomorrow, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, we're going to be having a get-together of some of my patrons, a patrons-only chat. And, of course, it'll be for you guys to see. So you don't have to be a patron to see the stream, but they're $25 and up backers, so therefore they will be on the stream. They will decide the questions. They will decide what we talk about, and it should be a lot of fun. One-man loan council will be right after that. Gannison, Peabody, Perth Comics, Jagan75, Greta, Steph, Tina, Patrick McDuff, Mild, Peril, Will Gentry. Dude. All right, guys. 100 likes. Boom. Damn right, Tina. Thank you very much for that, guys. You guys rock. Thank you for the 100 likes on this live stream. You are all amazing and beautiful people. I love you guys so much. Have a wonderful night. Get a good night's rest. If it's nighttime, have a great day. If it's the day, and you're awesome. You are the best chat in the business. I love you all, and God bless.